evening from the Buffalo State Ice Arena, and welcome to coverage of Game 4 of the season for the Buffalo State Bengals. We're moments away from puck drop as the Bengals try to move to 2-0 in divisional play on the year. Hello, my name's Aaron Elper, joined by Sean McHugh on the call tonight. Thank you for joining us for live coverage of Buffalo State College Club hockey. Tonight's opponent is the Canisius College Golden Griffins. Hello and welcome to the Ivy League pregame show presented by Ivy League Pharmacy, a locally owned neighborhood pharmacy for over 60 years on Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore. If you're traveling to Canada, Ivy League has PCR COVID tests available with a quick 1-hour turnaround. IvyLeaguePharmacy.com. Sean, Buff State comes into this one off of an impressive 7-2 win last week over Alfred State.
Absolutely, Aaron. The Bengals beat the Pioneers using speed and an absolutely relentless forecheck, and they scored in all three facets of the game. They got one on the power play, they scored shorthanded, and they scored at even strength, getting 2 goals each from Anton Rupert and Cole Newman, while Mike Guerrera, Zach Schultz, and Ben Gallivan also got in on the scoring, and A.J. White, with an impressive start on his own, making 34 saves.
Really, the Bengals put constant pressure on the Alfred State defensemen all last week. There were numerous plays throughout the game where Pioneers defensemen ended up being chased down by Bengal forwards. Bengals created a lot of turnovers, made things very difficult for Alfred State in their own end. A lot of times the Pioneers just had difficulty breaking the puck out of their zone. Hopefully, for the Bengals' sake, they will bring that same kind of aggressive forecheck here tonight.
Absolutely, and on the topic of relentless pressure, Anton Rupert's second goal of the game came while the Bengals were killing a 5-minute penalty. Pivotal moment as the Pioneers were only down 2-1 at the time, and the Bengals have scored a shorthanded goal in all 3 of their games. More shorthanded goals than power play goals allowed, speaking to the pressure they face, not only on the forecheck, but pressuring the point men on the power play. 91% success killing the penalty.
20 of 22 penalties killed off so far this year. The power play also very good, 43% conversion rate, scoring 6 times in 14 chances so far this year. Coaching staff would probably prefer to see fewer penalties taken by the Bengals, but the special teams have been solid so far, and power play and penalty kill always key factors at this level of hockey. Alfred State game was a perfect example of that.
Absolutely, and we're going to look to concede the continued pressure by the Bengals. And moving on to tonight's opponent, the Canisius College Golden Griffins. They haven't met since 2019 and 20, but they did meet 3 times in the regular season, and they met early in preseason as well for a 4th game. Bengals won all 3 regular season matchups by a score of 6-5, 6-4, and 7-3. And the first 2 wins were part of the impressive 12-game winning streak the Bengals went on, and the third was a last-minute game added to the schedule. They were actually supposed to play Alfred State that night, but a snowstorm forced the cancellation. And also, Canisius had the same issue as they had a game versus the University of Rochester that was also canceled that night, so the teams did take advantage of the flexibility that club hockey can enjoy, and they had the ice, so they might as well play a game.
Canisius looking for their first win of this season. They fell to Fredonia 9-1 in their opener, and then they lost at home last Saturday against Penn State Barron College by a 5-4 score in overtime. Barron actually erased a 3-1 Canisius lead in that game to come back and win it in the extra frame. Canisius, busy weekend. They are back in action tomorrow. They'll be in Erie facing those same Barron College Lions again. Meanwhile, the Griffs host Buff State later on this season. That is a February 5th game at the Nichols School Rink.
Yep, and 2 of the next 3 Bengals games are away from Buffalo State Ice Arena. They will play the University of Buffalo Bulls next Friday at the Northtown Center. The Bulls are the defending UNYCHL champions. And then next Saturday, they do have a home game against Barron College. And then the following Saturday, they'll travel down to Olean to play the St. Bonaventure Bonnies in a big divisional game. And all 3 of these games are 7 p.m. puck drops.
A couple of new faces that are actually not in the lineup tonight that we should note. Michael Guerrera, Anton Rupert, John Glasgow, and Joe Krasinski, all scratches for the Bengals tonight. Guerrera and Rupert have been excellent in their first seasons for the Bengals. Bengals will certainly need to rely on their depth with a little bit of a shorter bench tonight.
And that does provide an opportunity for some players to step up and fill those shoes that are left by Michael Guerrera, Anton Rupert, and John Glasgow, who unfortunately was injured in his first game back. But going into the crease, A.J. White has carried the load in net this year, starting all 3 games, with Evan Kump still dealing with a lower body injury. So A.J. White has been given a chance to get into a rhythm as the starting goaltender. Comes in with a record of 2-1 with a 3.33 goals against average, a 90 save percentage, and again coming off a very impressive 34 save start versus the Alfred State Pioneers.
Teams have completed their warm-up periods, and the officials are just now taking the ice for the start of the first period. Officials getting the nets all set up, but while we have a moment, we want to take a quick look at the league scoreboard presented by Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. Off the top, looking at the UNY CHL Empire Showcase in Binghamton. Last night it was Farmingdale beating Cortland by a 5-0 count. Quinnipiac beating the University of Buffalo 10-2. And Binghamton beat Fairfield last night 6-5. It was actually a 6-3 game late, but Fairfield made it a lot closer in the waning moments of that game. Meanwhile, in action today, Farmingdale over UB 4-2. Currently going on, Binghamton leading Quinnipiac by a 4-3 count. Also in non-league or in cross-divisional play today, it was Brockport winning in overtime over Lemoyne, and Fredonia coming out with a 12-1 victory over Penn State Barron College.
Absolutely, and then tonight here we have a divisional game. Not much league play otherwise, but a lot of focus on the non-conference games going on. There is a showcase going on in Binghamton with 3 UNY CHL schools and 3 Empire Division opponents. Union played host to Massachusetts Maritime last night, and there's also a North-South series looming next month. We have Central Florida and University of Tampa coming to Buffalo to face off against the Bengals, UP, and Niagara, and then the Bengals will then be visiting those Florida teams all the way down into February. So it really is great to see that we're watching the growth of the Collegiate Hockey Federation now in its 3rd year, building off a very successful inaugural season in 2019 and 20, and we're seeing a lot of new conferences joining the league matchup as well for regular season play as the UNY CHL brings more showcase events into the works for future, already looking like an exciting CHF Nationals next spring, and we're eager to see the first national rankings when they do come out.
Just a couple of moments here from meeting the starting lineups on both teams, and then we'll have the national anthem, and we should be ready for puck drop here from the Buffalo State Ice Arena here on the campus of Buffalo State College. Good evening and welcome to Buffalo State Ice Arena for tonight's UNY CHL West Divisional matchup between the Canisius College Golden Griffins and your Buffalo State College Bengals. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for Canisius College, starting at forward number 26, Ben Portman. Also at forward number 22, Austin Spadarico. At forward number 9, Gabriel Schlee. Starting on defense number 17, Clayton Weir. Also on defense number 8, Sean Marin. Starting in goal, number 44, Jimmy Sweeney. The head coach of the Griffins is Chris Roberts. And now the starting lineup for your Buffalo State Bengals. At left wing from Grand Island, New York, number 9, Elliot Hunt. At center from Eden, New York, number 28, the captain, Joe Lotempio. At right wing from Hamburg, New York, number 44, Zach Schultz. On defense from Buffalo, New York, number 67, Alex Hussey. Also on defense from Tonawanda, New York, number 22, Ryan Hahn. The starting goaltender from North Tonawanda, New York, number 1, A.J. White. The head coach of the Bengals is Tim Turner with assistant coaches Jeff Shevchuk and Pat Krebs. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able and stand for the playing of our national anthems. We are live at the Buffalo State. Full start there. We are ready now from the Buffalo State Ice Arena for Canisius College and Buffalo State. It is game 4 of the regular season for the Buff State Bengals as they look to improve their divisional record to 2-0. Their overall record currently coming into this game is 2-1. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice, we have the Canisius College Golden Griffins looking for their first win of the season. They come into this game with an 0-2 record, 0-1 in 0-2 in UNYCHL West Divisional play. Hello, my name's Aaron Elper, joined by Sean McHugh. Evan Kumpf on the camera this evening. Excited for tonight's game between the Golden Griffins and Bengals as they renew a rivalry. They were quite familiar with each other as they met 3 times a couple of years ago.
Absolutely, and these two teams, like you said, are very familiar with each other, not only playing 3 times, but just being located close enough to each other where they can get together and play these games. Play multiple games against each other and get some familiarity. They did not see each other last season due to the COVID situation that affected hockey and everything all over the country. But the rivalry gets renewed tonight. Buffalo State looking to build on an impressive win against Alfred, while Canisius is trying to get their first win of the season.
Teams are ready for opening face-off. It's going to be Jolo Tempio squaring off against Austin Spadarico as we get things started here from the Buffalo State Ice Arena. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Buffalo State YouTube channel. Starting in goal for Buff State, as Sean mentioned, is number 1, A.J. White. Meanwhile, on the other side of the rink, we have number 44, Jimmy Sweeney. Buffalo State gaining possession off the draw, but offsides is the call, just 7 seconds in, and we'll have a face-off coming up in the neutral zone.
And like we said in pregame, Aaron, Buffalo State had a lot of success with relentless forecheck and pressure on the defensemen. I expect to see a ton of that tonight.
Elliott Hunt with the puck off the draw. Shot is blocked on the way in. It goes up and out of play. We'll have another stoppage coming up here. Another face-off coming up in the Canisius end, just 13 seconds in so far.
Yeah, but not to make something out of nothing, but 7 seconds in, we got some physical play. Elliott Hunt took a bit of a shove into the boards right there. Nothing wrong with it. But Canisius, it looks like they're going to try to bring the physical, and they're going to come to play. Turnover,
it's kept down low. Zach Schultz with the puck now down below the goal line. Feeds it out in front, back to the point to Hahn. Shot comes right in on net. Save made by Sweeney. Buff State keeping the pressure on here. As Elliott Hunt getting a puck pass from behind the net, can't handle it, allows Canisius to gain possession of it and feed it out into the neutral zone where Ryan Hahn chases it down for Buff State. Cross ice pass, he's got Jolo Tempio crossing the blue line. Shot taken towards the net, goes just wide. Moving in now on the play is Ryan Miller to pick it up. Gets it back to Hahn. Hahn tries to fire a shot, but it hits a skate. Keeping it in now is Miller. Miller then gets hit hard on the boards just below us. No call on that play as Elliott Hunt keeps the puck moving. With possession of it, 2 different Golden Griffins on him, but it comes out to Miller. That shot is ripped hard, but it hit a body on the way through. And Ryan Hahn's shot also is blocked before it can get on net. Canisius doing a good job here in the early going of keeping shots from getting in on goal. Ryan Miller tries to get that hard snapshot in on the net, but that one goes just wide before coming all the way out to the point where Ben Gallivan found it, fired it in on goal. Stop made by Sweeney, and he covers up for a whistle with 18:43 to go in the first.
Aaron, number 17, Clayton Weir with the Griffins is throwing his body around early today, and he's doing it clean as well. So he's bringing the physical play. But other than that, I know we're just a minute and change into this game, but Buffalo State is just putting pressure and shots from everywhere right now.
Shot taken there from the point, looking for a redirection in front.
Continued pressure right here by the Bengals as well, Aaron. Just all over the puck right now.
Keeping it on the far side is Sardina. Gets it to Brennan, and Brennan walks it in from the point, tries to get a shot in on goal. That goes high just over the crossbar. Sardina finding possession, though, looking for a play from behind the net. Circling in the far corner, drops it down low. Got Gallivan there with a man on him. Gallivan tries to make a backhand pass. That one's intercepted. Now Canisius with an opportunity to break it out of the zone with Thurner. Pass doesn't connect. Now Brennan coming back 4-on-3. And Canisius had too many players out there on the ice. No call being made as Sardina has a chance in front of the net. That one doesn't get past the goalie Sweeney as he got that right pad out there to make that save last second. Gallivan now firing a shot from the hard angle. That one is saved by Sweeney, and it pops out along the goal line. Canisius finding possession, breaking it out with Thurner, getting it into the Buff State zone. Ryan Kelly, though, with possession of it, carrying it in behind his own net. First time tonight that the puck's actually been in the Buff State zone.
And it's coming out.
Kelly carries it out, makes a long cross-ice pass into the neutral zone. Gallivan unable to handle that one, but it's into the Canisius end. And it comes all the way back down to the Buff State zone, and Buff State narrowly avoids too many men on the ice penalty there. His team's a little bit sloppy with their line changes in the early going, but refs seem to be letting that slide at the moment as the puck's now down in the Buff State offensive zone. Canisius trying to break it out up the near wall. And doing so is going to be Harris getting it past the defenseman Hyde all the way back down into the Buff State zone. No icing on the play as Ryan Hahn has possession of it, tries to feed a pass. That one's intercepted. Portman with a chance to carry it in, but he couldn't get past a couple of Bengals defenders. And Buff State goes back in the other direction. Sardina ripping a hard shot that goes up and over the net and goes all the way out of the zone into neutral ice. Jeff Hyde with it there. Hyde then feeds a pass up to Cole Newman, but that one's turned over. Now an opportunity for Canisius getting their first shot in on goal. Ethan Alexin with that one from the mid-slot. Save made by White. Back in the other direction now. Sardina looking for a shot right in on goal. Rebound opportunity. Save made there as Elliott Hunt slid in on the play. Got that second shot right in on goal. Now a chance from the slot. Newman unable to handle that pass, and now it's Alexin carrying it out for the Golden Griffins.
Canisius is having a really, really hard time getting those passes through the neutral zone. The only pressure they're having is when the puck gets down low and they can get a point shot. They're changing awfully slow, but they're changing wholesale, which is how Buff State's been able to get some chances in on goal. Look to see the Bengals ratchet that pressure up because they're getting errors without pressuring them as much as they did. If they start getting guys on these defensemen, that puck's going to be sitting in the slot all game for them.
Face-off coming up in the Buff State zone. Bengals winning the draw, and it's going to be Brennan firing it up the near side. Keeping it in, though, is Clayton Weir for the Griffs. Brennan now with a chance to feed it up the far side. He's got Gosen there. Gosen flips it off the boards into the neutral zone where Elliott Hunt picks it up. Hunt goes cross ice to Ryan Kelly. Kelly walks in over the blue line, rips a slap shot. That one hits the defenseman's stick and then goes high and up out of play into the protective netting. And we'll have a face-off in the Canisius zone with 15:56 to go in the first. No score yet.
Both teams look like they're still trying to find their footing right here, Aaron, but Buffalo State's mentality is clear as day right now. They are on attack. They're on the attack right now, and they're looking to put pucks on the net everywhere, early and often, and they've done that so far.
Seem to be having a little bit of difficulties with our audio. We will try to get that sorted out as we continue moving here. 15 minutes and change to go as Buff State breaks it through the neutral zone. Into the offensive zone, Zach Schultz letting a shot go right in on goal.
More continued pressure here by the Bengals as well, Aaron. Puck set out to the point right now. Adam Brennan looks to be chasing the puck down. Brennan picks up the puck in his own end and looks to spearhead a rush for the Bengals.
Shot taken there from the slot, goes just wide right out in front. No opportunity for the Bengals there as they couldn't get a stick on it. And now looking to create something. It's going to be Canisius with a chance in front of the net. Lee tries to feed a pass down low, but that one's intercepted. Now a chance for the Bengals to break out on the far side. Taken there by Schultz, save made on the play by Sweeney. Buff State keeping the pressure on. Right out in front, Galvin tries to get that shot past the goaltender, but Sweeney making the save.
More continued pressure again. That's been the theme. It was the theme against Alfred State. That's the theme against Canisius right now. The Bengals are looking to cycle the puck down low to their point, and then once they look up, they try to find that slot man. It's been there. Sweeney's made a couple of really nice saves early in this game. The Bengals have all the offense right now. Sweeney's keeping it at 0-0 right now, but the Bengals continue to pressure.
Stay with the puck in the offensive zone. Galvin in the far corner with it. Tries to feed a pass in behind the net. He's got Ryan Miller there, but Miller's pass goes into the near corner. Nobody there until Sardina gets there. Sardina now carries it in behind the net. Sardina looking to feed that pass again in behind the net. He's got Miller there, and back to Sardina on the far wall. Sardina back to the point to Hussey. Can't get a shot through traffic, but it comes out to Ryan Hahn. Hahn fans on the shot on the near point, but he avoids two different forecheckers to keep it in the zone. And it's fed out into the slot where it's chipped up in the air by a Canisius defenseman. Now out to the blue line. Spadarico unable to get it out of the zone, though. Buff State keeping the pressure on here with 13:45 to go in the first period.
Still can't get it out.
Down low, it's now finally cleared out to the blue line. They can't get it past the defenseman Hahn. Hahn carrying it in towards the net. Can't get the shot off as he's taken down in front of the net. Official with his arm up, and we'll have a power play for the Buffalo State Bengals coming up with 13:31 to go in period number 1.
That seemed like a matter of when not if the Bengals really going to score or get a power play out of this, because they are honestly looking like they can pretty much go wherever they want to on the ice right now, and they're having success. I mean, Canisius tried to skate the puck out. They tried passing it. They tried ripping it off the boards. Nothing worked. Buffalo State had them hemmed in their end for a solid minute of play time, and then the big defenseman Ryan Hahn on a power move to the net got his legs taken out, and the Bengals head to the power play.
Bengals with the first opportunity on the man advantage tonight, as Clayton Weir tries to kill some time in that penalty by just pinning it against the Zamboni door. Got two Bengals on him, though, as they try to move the puck along, finally get it out of there from behind the net, as Joe Lotempio takes a hit from Weir. Lotempio takes a second hit from Weir, but maintains possession, now feeds it to Sardina. Sardina back to the point, he's got Gallivan there. Gallivan can't feed it past the man along the boards, and Canisius is able to clear the zone. Gallivan now carrying it into the offensive end, takes a hit and loses possession of it, chases it down behind the net and tries to feed it out in front. Nobody there, and that creates an opportunity for Thurner to send it the length of the ice.
Clayton Weir again using his body right there, trying to knock the Bengals off the puck. Did a really nice job on defense right there on Ben Gallivan, but unfortunately Canisius couldn't really get any possession of the puck right here. So the Bengals are looking to headman another rush.
Canisius penalty to number 26, Ben Portman. 2 minutes for tripping. Portman, 2 minutes for tripping. Bengals still setting up on the power play here in the offensive zone. Shots taken from the slot. Backhander there. Elliott Hunt couldn't get it up on the net as it went off the glass in behind the cage. Brennan now finding possession of it. Carries it in behind the net. Takes a shot himself. Save made by Sweeney. Now it's going to be Gallivan picking up behind the net, looking for his opportunity. That shot goes off the side of the net, now in front, laying there, and kept in by Ryan Miller. Opportunity to get it out, though. Now Thurner clears it through the neutral zone past Adam Brennan with 25 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Portman for Canisius, as Brennan carries it out from behind his own net. Cole Newman goes cross ice to Ryan Miller, who takes it into the offensive zone. He takes a hit, but keeps possession of it. Circles it back to the point. He's got Ryan Kelly midpoint, shot in on goal, redirected late, and goes just wide. Bengals keeping the pressure moving here. Ryan Miller at the near point, trying to keep it in desperately to do so. Went to a knee to keep it in the first time, but Ethan Alexin did end up getting it outside of the zone. Now it's going to be Zach Schultz in neutral ice. Gets it to Brennan, then back to Schultz. Schultz now feeds a backhand pass into the high slot. Cole Newman there late, just couldn't quite get that shot off, as there was a man there to cut him off.
Didn't get one on that power play, but it was still a really, really good job by the Bengals maintaining possession and shooting. The goaltender, Jimmy Sweeney, sitting strong in his blue paint right there, making all the saves, but the Bengals are just shooting from everywhere. And the thing is, they're being given some pretty prime real estate on the ice to let those shots go. If I'm the Bengals, I'm not changing a thing about how I'm just attacking these Golden Griffins right now.
Keep creating opportunities. Eventually one of those will cash in. Bengals with possession of it in the offensive zone yet again. Ryan Hahn getting it down low. Cole Newman looking to set up some pressure there, laying a hit on his man. And the Bengals now with possession. Cole Newman spinning in the corner. Long cross-ice pass, Hyde at the near point. Got a man on him, just feeds it down behind the net again, keeping that cycle play moving. And now Newman cycles it down low where he's got Gosen. Gosen with a man on him, keeping him from getting to the loose puck. Keeping control of it, though, despite getting knocked down. Now back to the point to Hahn. Shot in on goal. Easy save made there by Sweeney, as that one was floated in towards the cage. Sweeney just slid out and put a hand on it and made the stop. We'll have a face-off coming up in the Canisius zone with 10:38 remaining in period number one. Seems as though we have our audio issues taken care of, and now we are back set to go here as we get restarted with a face-off in the Canisius zone.
Buffalo State threw a little bit of the physical play back at Canisius right there. Cole Newman threw a nice hit to jar the puck loose to keep possession for the Bengals on that series.
Shot taken there. It bounces in front. Looked like it hit a body and came almost right to Sardina on the doorstep. Just couldn't quite find possession to get that shot in on goal. Buff State keeping the pressure on here in the near corner. As picking it up there, it's going to be Cole Newman trying to feed a pass, looking for something on the far side. Loses control of it now and carrying it out of the zone. It's going to be Maloney for Canisius. Maloney with a man on him in front of the Buff State bench, allowing the Bengals to find possession. McFadden gets it into the offensive zone. Alexin takes it off of his stick, though, and moves it out to center ice. Now back in the other direction for the Bengals. Tries to make a move around one man, finds possession of the puck himself. Now sends a bouncing pass through the slot. Hyde has it there and tries to let a hard shot go. It just looked like it rolled on him a little bit, though, and went up and over top of the net. Pass is fed in front, but Elliott Hunt unable to find that one, and it'll go all the way to the Buff State zone. E.J. White comes out to play the puck. That negates icing, but Buff State trying to catch Canisius in a change here.
They had him, too. Just there's a little bit of difficulty handling that pass by A.J. If that pass gets through, they're going back 2-on-1.
State now getting it out of their zone. 2-on-2s. It's Joe Lotempio getting it up to Elliot Hunt. Hunt ripping the shot in on goal. Save made by Sweeney. He swallows that one up. Holds on for another whistle with 9:23 now left in period number 1. Still waiting the game's first goal.
Buffalo State adding a little transition to their repertoire right here. Joe Lotempio feathers down a pass through the neutral zone, then flips a quick little backhander, hits Elliot Hunt in stride, and Hunt lets that snapshot go, which he can really bring it with a shot. Goaltender Sweeney on top of his paint, making another nice save.
Draw one back to the point. Adam Brennan lets that shot go. Rebound there briefly. It's up in the air, but Sweeney got that catching glove out, made the stop, made sure that that puck didn't fall in front of him to give the Bengals another chance on the rebound. And the faceoff will again come up to Sweeney's right. Bengals win that draw cleanly again. Brennan having that snapshot, basically a repeat of the previous play. Sweeney had a little bit easier time handling it. He caught it the first time in this attempt. And again, we'll have a faceoff in that far circle.
Nothing wrong with point shots getting through to the net, Aaron. That's how deflections and rebounds happen. So the Bengals, if they have those lanes and get that puck to the net, they're going to keep firing away from there because something's going to bounce, or there's going to be a rebound, or one's going to find its way through a screen. Yeah,
Sweeney won't have a clear look at every shot that comes from there. I like them continuing to try those shots from distance, especially when they can get some traffic in front. Brennan with that hard shot now taken on the one-timer. Goes wide, but the Bengals keeping possession as Lotempio gets it back to Brennan. Looked like it might have come out of the zone briefly, though. Offsides waved off as the Bengals keep it in the offensive end. But now it's Portman coming back in the other direction. Sends it in towards the goal. H.A. White finds possession of it, decides to stop the play, and forces a faceoff in the Buff State zone, now with 8:40 remaining in period number 1. Still no score between the Buff State Bengals and Canisius College Golden Griffins.
This continued pressure in zone time by the Bengals, you can see it. Canisius, they are exhausted already because they've been chasing the puck and trying to rub the Bengals off of it, and they can't do it. And the Bengals are getting quality scoring chances left and right. And these Griffins, they look like they are tired. They look like they are exhausted right now.
Puck comes out to the Buff State blue line, and now through the neutral zone, it's going to be Ryan Miller with it. Miller feeds a soft pass to Sardina. That shot right in on goal. Looked like Sweeney got a piece of it. Comes now out to center ice. Gallivan catches up to a Canisius player and takes him off the puck. That allows Ryan Miller to start back in the other direction. We're going to have a penalty coming up as Adam Brennan finds that loose puck. Looks like it's going to be a tripping call coming up against Canisius as Buff State has the extra attacker on. Shot taken from the point. Looked like it bounced before it got to Sweeney, but he made the pad save. Now a chance from in front of the net. Sardina tried to rip that one in on net. Looked like it hit a defenseman, though, before it could get to the goaltender. Nice move by Gallivan to get around his man. Carries it into the goal line. Shot from hard angle there. Went off the goalie's chest and then down in front of him. Sweeney then covers it up, and finally we get the stoppage for the penalty with 7:52 to go in period number 1. Bengals will be going back to the power play.
Ben Gallivan dropping a little razzle-dazzle right there for you, Aaron. Plays the puck behind his back off the boards, and then heel drags his way to the net. Goaltender Sweeney, again, making a really nice save as Gallivan finessed his way all the way to the doorstep and trying to stuff one in short side. And the goaltender Sweeney, again, hard on his post and strong in the crease, kept the puck out.
Bengals winning the draw and setting up their power play. But Alexin with a chance to clear it, gets it taken off of his stick. Good play there by Brennan. Brennan walking in, tries to let a shot go. Looked like it rolled on him just before he could get that shot off. And that allows Canisius to clear it with 1:43 now left in the power play.
I've seen that happen a few times today. The puck just jumps on a player, or a player goes to clear it and it sticks. Looks like there's a little difficulty handling the puck on both sides tonight.
Bengals now into the offensive zone with Zach Schultz. Bengals now trying to set it up and look for some offensive pressure.
Ooh. Again, point shot.
Canisius penalty to number 7, Matthew Tim. 2 minutes for tripping. Tim, 2 minutes for tripping. Time of the penalty, 12:04.
Canisius faring a little bit better on this penalty kill. They're able to get the puck down without being hemmed in their zone for a straight minute, which will keep them, their shifts will be shorter. They'll be able to get some of their breath back, not having to be on the ice for a minute, 2 minutes at a time.
Ryan Hahn with a lane to carry it up ice, though, and he's got it all the way into the offensive zone. Circles the net, now looks to set up that Buff State power play. Hahn does a complete circle of the offensive zone, gets it back to the mid point, feeds it down low to Hunt. Hunt trying to go cross ice to Sardina. He had 2 men on him quickly, though, and he was unable to get the shot away, and that allows the Canisius to clear it again. 35 seconds in the man advantage.
I like the look there, though. Keep circling around, then trying to get one into the slot when someone's camped out there. Good defense, though, by the Griffins on that play.
Gallivan now with possession, carrying it into the offensive zone. Sets up on the hash marks, feeds it back to the point to Sardina. Sardina Ardina looking for a lane, gets around two different people. No shot there offered, though, and he gets it back to Gallivan. Gallivan takes that shot. It goes high and wide off the side of the net, off the glass. And then it comes out here to Ryan Hahn on the hash marks. Hahn playing catch with Joe Lotempio, carrying it out from the goal line. Looking to set up something in front of the net. Feeds it out in front. A shot taken there by Elliot Hunt. That one hit a shin pad before it got in on goal. The penalty is now over as the shot's taken from the midpoint by Gallivan. That one hit something on the way in and then went up and over the glass. And that's going to result in a stoppage in play, as it looked like some equipment issues there with the goaltender Sweeney, as there was a piece of his equipment that ended up on the ice during the course of play there. He seems to have it all sorted away now. And we'll have a face-off coming up in the Canisius zone with 5:48 remaining in the first.
I'm liking the constant point shots by the Bengals right there, but I think if Gallivan would have looked up a second after that, he would have seen that he had Sardina on the dot all alone. Having said that, when you have a clear lane from the point, never a bad shot. Just that one happened to get blocked.
State winning another draw and getting a shot in through traffic, as Ryan Kelly let that wrist shot go, as there were a couple of different players in front of the goaltender Sweeney. Looked like Newman might have gotten a piece of that one before it got to the good goaltender. Good save there.
And if he did get a piece of that, that was nice. He tipped the puck in front of him through his leg. That's it. That's also impressive on the goaltender to be able to track that puck after that.
Newman making a great move to get himself free. Lets that backhand shot go, and another solid save made by Sweeney. Rebound sat there briefly, but Buff State couldn't get to it to pick up any of that loose change. All the way back down into the Buff State end now. Ryan Kelly starting the breakout. Up to Cole Newman at the blue line, kind of juggles it there as he tries to get it past one man, does so and gets it up to Gosen. At the Canisius blue line now as it's moved out of the zone. Buff State, though, maintaining possession in center ice as Adam Brennan flips it in. Light pressure here from the Bengals that allows Canisius to get it up to the blue line, but Kelly keeps it in the zone. Moves it along to Gosen, then Gosen feeds it in behind the net. Cole Newman now back to the point. He's got Adam Brennan there. Brennan goes cross point as Kelly tries to get a shot in towards the net. That one hits a defenseman, then goes off to the boards. Buff State still with possession of it. Bouncing puck in front. Rebound opportunity for Gosen. Like he had two cracks at that one, but Sweeney making both saves on the play and holding on for the eventual whistle with 4:46 to go in the first period.
Aaron, Buff State is banging on that door on the crease, and I'm waiting for it to open right now because they're getting look after look after look from that slot. A lot of good defensive plays, blocking shots, great goaltending by Sweeney as well. But if you're Canisius, I mean, you got to think, like, they got to try to do something to stop letting that puck sit there flat for these Bengals to tee off those snappers, because teams like them, they're going to start burying those.
Bengals again winning a faceoff, getting it down low. Schultz with one opportunity, gets the second one in on net. Loose puck still sitting there in front. Ends up now in behind the goal where Schultz finds it. Gets it to Lotempio. Lotempio with a man on him. Gets away from him, now looking for a pass. Cross-ice pass into the skates of Kelly, now sitting in front. Rebound opportunity. Two saves made by Sweeney on the play. He has just been peppered with shots here in the first period. Unable to beat him so far, the Bengals. Another loose puck sitting out there in the slot. This time it's Canisius coming out with it. It's going to be Maloney carrying it into the neutral zone. Breaky. Kelly taking it off of his stick with seeming ease, though, and the Bengals counter. Here comes Joe Lotempio. Chips it in towards the front of the net. Good defensive play made by Thurner. As now Weir tries to break it out up the far side, but Zach Schultz gets in his way and tries to feed a pass across, but Thurner gets in the way of that one. And that forces Buff State to retreat into the neutral zone before sending it back in. Broken up the near side now. Bouncing puck kept in by the Bengals. Elliot Hunt with it now. Hunt can't maintain possession as it comes out in the neutral zone, and it's going to be Ryan Miller chasing it back at his own blue line. Miller getting some speed going now, cutting through the center of the ice. One on team, essentially. Almost got his shot off there as he split the defenseman. Just couldn't quite get that backhander on. And it's Ryan Hahn unloading on a slap shot as the puck came out to him at the top of the circle. Sweeney saw the puck the whole way and made the save. Holds on for a whistle in the offensive zone with 3:27 to go in the first period. Our coverage is brought to you by the law offices of Nicholas J. Narchis, an advocate for Western New Yorkers with blue-collar roots, providing efficient and cost-effective representation from offices in Lockport and Geneseo. NarchisLaw.com. Bengals again winning an offensive zone faceoff. They can't keep it in at the far point, though. Do find possession in center ice, though. As a couple of players from each side try to come up with possession, it's going to be Gallivan carrying it in. Gallivan trying to get that shot through the screen. Defenseman got a piece of that one before it could get in on net. Gallivan then finds the loose puck again.
Gallivan's trying to do a little too much on his own right here. He's fired a couple shots into shin guards right there, and he's trying some little dipsy doodle in the neutral zone. You want to see him try to use his teammates a little bit.
Miller Miller now carrying it into the offensive zone. Poke check from Stish, takes it off of his stick, but Miller still with possession of it here against the boards. Down low to Gallivan. Sitting here in the corner now of the near side, fed in behind the net. Gallivan now looking for a pass there. As he loses control of his stick as it hit the gap in the boards at the Zamboni door. Buff State keeping it in the offensive zone. Hussey making a good play at the far point. Gets it down low. Gallivan with puck there along the goal line. Tries to cut in front of the net. Good defensive play as two Griffs were there keeping Gallivan from getting to the front of the net. As the Griffs do manage to clear the zone finally. Get it all the way back down into Buff State end, where it's going to be Ryan Hahn with a head of steam. Hahn across the Canisius blue line looking to create something. Has the puck now in the corner. Pass in front. Nobody was there, though, when it comes out to the far point. And it's going to just come out across the blue line. And the official on the near side spots it and makes the offsides call. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off with 2:03 left in period number 1.
That's the fourth time that I can count that I've seen the Bengals just looking up and seeing Canisius making a wholesale change and just firing through the neutral zone, looking to just create more offense. That's going to be real interesting to see how that plays out in the second period with the long change.
Buff State with possession of the puck right in front of our broadcast position. Getting into the offensive zone, Cole Newman with it. Newman feeds it in behind the net where Mark Hager chases it down. Hager now behind the net where he can't find Gosen. Now a loose puck along the near boards. Big hit there from Cole Newman, but Canisius carries it out with Clayton Weir. Weir gets tangled up there in the neutral zone with Kelly. Buff State coming up with the loose puck and getting it out to the blue line. And Newman getting it out of the zone and carrying it on through the neutral zone. Collision at the Canisius blue line as the Griffs come into the Buff State zone. Shot there taken from distance, right in on goal by Maloney. Good stick save made by A.J. White as he hasn't been tested a whole lot here in this first period yet, but he's made good solid saves when he has been. Gosen trying to get it out on the near side, chips it past one man. He's got a second defenseman to worry about, but he keeps it into the offensive zone. And now Cole Newman tries to set something up. Behind the net, carries it out, lets that shot go himself. Sweeney making the save, and Newman keeps it moving behind the net to Hager. Hager makes a move around one man, tries to feed a pass back to the point, losing control of it with 48 seconds now remaining in the period. Puck down into the Buffalo State end, and that's going to be an icing on the play. And another offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Bengals here with 45 seconds to go in period number 1.
Look for a real heavy push from the Bengals right here in the last minute. They have, I don't even know what the word is. They've had the puck in Canisius' end seemingly the entire period. Probably a little frustrating that they haven't solved this goaltender yet, but expect a push here to get a tough goal here.
Back to the point to Brennan. Brennan loads up with a slap shot, doesn't get through traffic, but sitting in the crease. It's kicked at, now still laying there. Hunt tries to get the shot in on goal. Sweeney didn't know where it was, but he did manage to make the save. Holds on for another whistle with 35 seconds to go now in the period. Canisius getting a chance to make a change here on the whistle. And they got some tired players coming off the ice right now as one player, Matthew Tim, is slowly getting to his skates from in the crease and skating over to his bench. There are a lot of tired Canisius players that have spent a lot of time in their own end tonight.
That's exhaustion right there, too, and that's going to happen when you have a short bench. Unfortunately for the Bengals, too, nobody could get the puck on their stick clean right there because they had the goalie down and out, but the puck just wouldn't sit for them.
Bengals again winning a face-off in the offensive zone. Pass comes into the slot. Elliott Hunt evades a couple of men, then gets that shot in towards the net. Save made by Sweeney on that one as the net is off. Ref goes in to fix it, keep play moving. As the Bengals with possession of it, just at the blue line, Adam Brennan, but he loses control of it. Now Alexin in the other direction's got a breakaway. Ethan Alexin all alone. Save made by A.J. White.
Oh, that would have been huge for Canisius if after that entire first period, just an unfortunate bounce, ends up in the back of their net. But the goaltender, A.J. White, again, hasn't been tested a lot, but when he has been tested, he's come up big for the Bengals. That's going to be a big save going forward into this game. You do not, after the period you've had, you do not want to give up a dirty one like that. And luckily, A.J. White bailed the Bengals out on that for the one mistake they've made this period.
8 seconds to go here in the first period. Bengals looking for one last opportunity. Unable to get to a loose puck is Elliott Hunt. And that's how the period's going to end, with Hunt and Weir getting tangled up at the Zamboni entrance. Nothing really coming out of that. And both teams are ready to skate off and regroup for period number 2. Our score after one period of play is the same way we started the period of play. Nothing, but not despite plenty of opportunities for the Bengals.
Absolutely not. If I'm the Bengals right now, the only thing I'm upset about is the fact that the goaltender just played out of his mind in that period. It was the Bengals not having a goal is not a result of pretty much anything they've done wrong. They did everything what you want to do. I mean, if you tell a coach that they're going to have as many shots from where they had them in a period, you're going to take it all day. Goaltender Sweeney just played outstanding. He did have help at times. There were block shots, but the Bengals of the 20 minutes felt like they had the puck in Canisius' end for 17 of them. So if I'm the Bengals, I'm not trying to change anything. What I am doing is watching the Griffins because they're changing wholesale every single time with the long change. If that keeps up, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to get that speed game going, which look to see that.
Yeah, there were plenty of times where the Bengals looked to take advantage of that. They saw Canisius in a change and quickly moved the puck up ice. Even saw A.J. White jumping out of the net to negate an icing play to go ahead and try to move it up ice to catch Canisius in a change. They will continue to try to do that tonight as they spent pretty much, I would probably say, about 15 minutes in the offensive zone in that period.
Give or take, you're not off. If you're off, it's not by much. I mean, Canisius does have a short bench. They have literally it feels like almost like a beer league lineup out there, meaning 2 lines. But when it's a 20-minute stop clock, periods seem like they take forever. So the Bengals, they're not exactly thick on the bench either today. When the Bengals are trying to use their speed, it's working. They hit a hot goalie this period.
And we'll have to see whether or not there's any frustration then showing from the Bengals as they had plenty of chances, plenty of shots on goal in that first period. Unable to solve the goaltender, though, so far, and we have a 0-0 score after 20 minutes of play. Our coverage is brought to you by Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. To buy, sell, or lease any office, industrial, retail, or investment property, trust the unparalleled knowledge and experience of Militello Realty. 856-2872 or militello.com. Our coverage also brought to you by Ivy Leaf Pharmacy, a locally owned neighborhood pharmacy for over 60 years. If you're traveling to Canada, PCR COVID tests are available at Ivy Lee with a quick 1-hour turnaround. Ivy Lee is at 2446 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore and online at ivyleepharmacy.com. This broadcast also brought to you by the law offices of Nicholas J. Narchis, an advocate for Western New Yorkers with blue-collar roots, providing efficient and cost-effective representation from offices in Lockport and Geneseo. Find them online at narchislaw.com. Support also comes from Bob and John's La Hacienda, a Buffalo pizza tradition since 1972. Located on Hurdle Avenue in North Buffalo, online ordering for pickup or delivery, bobandjohns.com. And support also comes from Envious Gameware, the official uniform supplier of Buffalo State Club Hockey, making high-end custom team uniforms, bags, and apparel. You can find them online, enviousgameware.com. Zamboni's on the ice, resurfacing things as we get ready for second period play. We're going to step away here for just a moment, but we'll be back with the second period in about 10 minutes. the Buffalo State Ice Arena as we are getting ready for second period play between the Buffalo State College Bengals and the Canisius College Golden Griffins. Hello, my name is Aaron Elper, joined by color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Evan Kump, getting ready for second period action between the Bengals and Griffins. And a very active first period for the Bengals, but only a lot of shots on goal and no goals to show for it yet.
Absolutely, and you would think it's a little frustrating just because, it's one of those things where you do everything right and you're not rewarded for it. Having said that, I don't think any sort of change in how they approached is warranted at all. They had pressure, they had chances, they got the puck to where you want to get it. You can't control how the other goaltender plays. You can, but also you can't. And the goaltender played very well in that period. The strategy here, I would think, from Coach Turner, Coach Shevchuk, and even Coach Krebs, just keep doing what you're doing. Now, the Bengals will have to kill a penalty to start this period. They have been excellent in that regard as well, though.
Elliot Hunt taking a penalty at the end of period number 1, 2 minutes for high sticking, so the Bengals will need to kill off a penalty here as we get started with second period play from the Buffalo State Ice Arena. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Puck in the near corner as Buff State putting some pressure on the penalty kill, but Canisius now carrying it out of the zone, getting it through neutral ice with Spadarico. Spadarico now in the slot, tries to get a shot through traffic, but that hit Jeff Hyde in the skate and then went off into the corner. Now Buff State with a chance to clear it out of the zone, and doing so is Ryan Hahn. Maybe some numbers developing here for the Bengals. Schultz into the offensive zone, gets ridden off the puck by Weir, and that allows Canisius to clear it out to the blue line. Have to remember exactly who's on the power play here, as it looked like Canisius was just trying to dump the puck there out of the zone to relieve some of the pressure. Buff State enjoying that, killing off some more time in this penalty.
Free clears are always good. Look at this!
That was a weird bounce that it took. I don't know if it hit the ref or if it caught a strange partition in the glass, but the goaltender had a lot of difficulty with it. It almost ended up sliding in behind him as he came out of the net to play it.
It did that thing where it was rolling and got on his edge and started cutting towards the net as the goaltender went to play it. Goes for it again.
Yeah, Bengals doing a very efficient job of killing off this penalty as they gained possession of it, carried it back into the neutral zone, then dumped it in to kill off more time. And Canisius is now going to be guilty of an icing call. And the faceoff will come back into the Canisius end with 44 seconds remaining in their power play.
Tough for Canisius, too, because at the very end of that period, they had the breakaway that got stopped, but then they get a power play with a chance to build some momentum and get some energy, but they're not doing themselves any favors right now, icing the puck and having Buff State set up offense, almost like they're on the power play, and they're getting possession right here.
Shot taken there from the point by Ryan Hahn, saved by Sweeney. As the Bengals keeping the pressure on in the offensive zone, doing a very good job of killing off this penalty. It's easy to kill off a penalty if you're in the other team's zone most of the time, but Spadarico now trying to change that, carry it through center ice on his own. He takes a hit in front of the Canisius bench and loses possession. Then Canisius dumps it in with 20 seconds remaining in their power play. Hyde tries to get it out on the far side. It's kept in that corner, though, as Canisius finally with a chance to maybe set up something here on the man advantage. Shot taken from the point. That doesn't get through Ryan Miller's block. And the Bengals now get in the opposite direction. Got away with maybe an offsides on the play. Shot taken in on goal by Gosen. Bengals now finding possession of it as they are back to full strength. Elliot Hunt out of the penalty box, picking up the loose puck in the corner, spinning and firing it in front of the net. Unable to find anyone there, and it comes back out to neutral ice. On the far side, on the blue line, Ryan Hahn with a little bit of difficulty finding control of it there, but he had some time to get it all the way up to the far blue line, where Gosen takes it into the offensive zone. Gosen feeds a backhand pass in front. Elliot Hunt just couldn't quite handle it. Could have been a 2-on-1 down low, but just unable to connect on that initial pass. 17:20 now remaining here in period number 2 as Canisius breaks it up the far side. Still waiting for our game's first goal here as a bouncing puck in front of the Canisius net. A couple of Bengal players were there, but unable to find it and get that second shot in. Shot taken then by Ryan Kelly. That one gets deflected, goes off into the corner, and we're going to have a penalty coming up here as the Canisius player touches the puck, and interference is signaled by the official in the neutral zone, and the Bengals will go on the power play here. Just 2 minutes and 53 seconds into period number 2.
Yep, and it looks like they're getting number 5, Joseph Wesolowski, for the interference call down low behind the play. That's tough for Canisius right there. I mean, things seem to be going from bad to worse right now, because first they had a power play where they were sitting in their own end, and now the Bengals head to the power play, and they've had possession no matter how many Bengals are on the ice, whether it's 5 or 4.
Canisius penalty to number 5, Joe Wesolowski. 2 minutes for interference. Wesolowski, 2 minutes for interference. Time of the penalty, 2:53. Bengals setting up their power play now. Sardina back to the point. Shot taken there by Gallivan. Glove save made by Sweeney. Hangs on for a stoppage and a face-off in the offensive zone for the Bengals. 21 seconds taken off of the penalty clock so far. And still waiting for our first goal here as we're almost 4 minutes into play here in the second period.
Strategy, like we thought, hasn't changed even a little bit for the Bengals. They're just getting the puck. If they see pads, they're letting them rip. What is this?
Canisius making a late change there as Spadarico, slowly going towards the bench, was still skating off as play got started. Bengals, though, set up the power play here. Sardina tried to get that shot off from the dot there on the far side, but he had a man on him, unable to get the shot away, and it came out to center ice before Gallivan picks it up and carries it back into the offensive zone. Slowing it down and setting up the power play on the far side. Sardina carrying it out from the boards, gets it down low to Lotempio. Joe Lotempio tries the other side, gets it back to the point to Ryan Hahn. Hahn looking for a shooting lane there, drops a pass to Gallivan, quickly over to Hunt, now back into the slot. Gallivan rips a shot, rebound opportunity. Lotempio gets a hack at it. There were two different chances, and now we have a goal. Joe Lotempio finally found that loose puck, put it past the goaltender, and the Bengals are on the board with a power play goal. It's 1-0 Buff State.
Finally, the Bengals are rewarded for all of their hard work. They were shooting, moving the puck around, set a nice high-low play. Puck goes down low. Elliot Hunt puts the puck off the goaltender. Puck lands in front. Lotempio sitting in the slot, basically half claps that thing past the sprawling goaltender. Anything they could possibly do to get one by, and they finally, at long last, get that first goal of the game, and it's the captain, Joe Lotempio.
Bengals picking up the game's first goal, taking advantage of a power play. They've been solid on the power play so far this year, and they've got the game's first goal tonight, and it's a power play marker by the captain, number 28, Joe Lotempio.
Absolutely, and the Bengals continuing to add pressure right now, and Canisius looking to break out right here, going back 2-on-2, but difficulty with the puck right there.
Loose puck in on the far side in the neutral zone. Gostin picking it up and sending it back into the offensive zone, where the Bengals will set up some soft pressure now. Buffalo State goal scored by number 28, Joe Lotempio. Assist to number 53, Brett Sardina. Lotempio from Sardina. Time of the Bengals goal, 3:57. A little conversation now between some of the Canisius players and the referee as a new puck is retrieved from the scoring area. And the faceoff will be coming up in the offensive zone for the Bengals. 15:27 to go here in period number 2. Buff State leading this one 1-0 on the recent power play goal by Joe Lotempio.
New strategy by Canisius, just rushing the puck, rushing the point, man.
Canisius gets it out of the zone with more ease than they've had all night, getting a shot in on goal. That one taken by Alexin from the top of the circle, but A.J. White making the glove save on that one and hanging on for a whistle. Faceoff will now come up in the Bengals defensive zone to the left of the goaltender, A.J. White.
Having A.J. White again, solid in his net, not faced a lot of them in the breakaway and the scoring chance, but just keeping the puck out of the net. Bengals get a change right there, and they're going to let you continue to pressure the way they've been playing this entire game so far.
Bengals again winning the draw. Sardina winning it back to Hussey, and Hussey goes up the far side where he's got Ryan Miller. Miller can't get it past the defenseman, who kicks it into the zone. Canisius off sides, and they have to tag up on the play, but Buff State's still trying to break it out as Hussey has a man on him. And an errant pass now allows the Bengals to break it out. It's going to be Sardina up the near boards. Sardina chips it off the boards up to Miller, but into the offensive zone. The goalie came out of the net, almost got tangled up with a couple of players. Sardina now ripping a shot that goes off the side of the cage. Ryan Miller in behind the net, cycles it down to Gallivan. Gallivan now back to the point. Ryan Hahn looking for a shot, gets that one into traffic. Didn't look like it got all the way through into the goaltender as Sweeney ended up kind of spinning out of position there as that shot was taken. Puck comes back to the point, bounces over the stick of Ryan Hahn, then ends up all the way back into the Bengals zone. Hahn has some pressure on him, but he avoids the first man, and here come the Bengals with numbers. Sardina across the blue line, and just offsides on that play. Not sure that I agree from our vantage point up here, but that was the call, so we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone with 14:17 remaining here in period number 2. Buff State leading 1-0.
I'm with you on that, Aaron. It looked like they came in onside, and that's a shame, too, because Sardina literally carried that puck to a 2-on-1. But unfortunately, the play was blown dead, so the Bengals have to take a neutral zone face-off.
Faceoff is scrambled, and Hager tries to find possession. He gets it deep into the offensive zone. Alex Ghost in the first one to it, spins and feeds a pass in front, comes back to the point to Ryan Kelly. Kelly now tries to get a pass in front. He's got a man there, and Cole Newman puts it past the goaltender. It's now 2-0 Buff State as Cole Newman has his 4th goal of the year.
Absolutely, and the same strategy that we've seen all game. Point shots, point shots, point shots. And right there, the Bengals got the bounce they need, and Cole Newman, Johnny on the spot on the backside, picks up the puck in one motion, slides it past the goaltender, Sweeney, and the Bengals open up a 2-goal lead, and the way they're putting pressure on, they're looking to knock the floodgates down and blow this thing wide open.
Well, we were expecting something that entire first period as the Bengals had chance after chance and plenty of shots on goal. They're starting to convert those chances and shots on goal as now Mark Hager rips one past the goaltender, and just like that, it's now 3-0 Buff State. What a shot.
There's the first goal for the freshman, Mark Hager, right there. There's a beautiful carry over the blue line. Dusts the puck off, has all day to set up his shot, rips it over the glove of the goaltender Sweeney, and you love to see the reaction of the Bengals to see the young guy get his first goal. Cole Newman leapt into his arms as he put that puck in the net, and the Bengals, like I just said, they're ready to blow this thing wide open. They get 2 in less than 30 seconds, and don't think for a second they're not going to try to make it 4. 3 to get it to 4.
One of those times where it's just a question of solving the goaltender, and the first time they managed to, as Sean said, really did seem that the floodgates have opened up quickly from there. As Canisius dumps it into the offensive zone, trying to put some pressure on now of their own, as they're trailing in this one by a 3-0 count. Second Buffalo State goal scored by number 29, Cole Newman. Assist to number 13, Ryan Kelly. Newman from Kelly. Time of the Bengals goal, 5:58. Third Bengals goal scored by number 93, Mark Hager, unassisted. Hager unassisted. Time of the Bengals goal, 6:06.
Yep, and right there, Canisius did get a nice scoring chance. Captain Joel Tempio had to haul his man down to save a great scoring chance. He did get the shot off. A.J. White made another great save. But after the quick 3 spot the Bengals put up early in the period, they're going to have to kill another penalty just like they did as the period started.
Penalty coming up to number 28, the captain Joe Lotempio. 2 minutes for hooking on the play.
Easy clear for the Bengals. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, just came out to the blue line. We're keeping it in, trying to put some offensive pressure now as Canisius with their second power play of the evening. Puck in behind the Buff State net, but Ryan Hahn comes out with possession and now looks to carry it through the neutral zone. Hahn gets past 2 different men, loses control of it, and it's just inside the Canisius blue line and sent down deep by Zach Schultz. Buff State penalty to number 28, Joe Lotempio. 2 minutes for hooking. Lotempio, 2 minutes for hooking. Time of the penalty, 6:49. Buff State again doing an excellent job here, killing off time here in this penalty, as they are again in the Canisius zone, spending a lot of time and burning off some valuable seconds in the Canisius power play. Looking to create something short-handed. Elliott Hunt couldn't get a shot off as him and Schultz were putting a bunch of pressure on Canisius, making it just that much more difficult for Canisius to even start it up ice to get their power play going.
Elliott Hunt on that play literally shrugged off 3 Griffins to kill off about 15-20 seconds. That's an outstanding penalty kill by the Bengals.
And they come out with another loose puck. It's going to be Sardina carrying it through the neutral zone, 1-on-2. Gets around one man, gets tangled up with it. Looked like it could have been a penalty call there. The referee was right there on the spot, decided not to make the call. And now Canisius with an opportunity to carry it out. Spadarico here in the neutral zone. The 2 number 22s come together there. It's Ryan Hahn getting far the better of it, getting it up to Ryan Miller at the far blue line. Miller carries it in, makes the move through his legs, gets around the defenseman, now has control of it in behind the net. Buff State still killing off a penalty here as there are 20 seconds now left in the high sticking call to Joe Lotempio. Oh boy. Portman then gets away from a man, avoids a hit right in front of the Buff State bench, and finds possession of it, getting into the offensive zone, but his pass comes all the way back to the point, and then ends up back into Canisius territory with just 3 seconds now remaining in the penalty.
Look at Ryan Miller all over the ice. He misses the hip check, and then he gets the puck and creates a scoring chance.
Shot taken, a hard one in on net by Ben Gallivan, as Miller fed that pass out from behind the net just at the end of the penalty. 11 minutes now remaining in second period play. It's a 3-0 Buff State lead, continuing to look to add to it. Canisius finding possession, though. It's going to be Alexin at the blue line. Tries to get around Jeff Hyde, but Hyde takes that one off of his stick. And now it's going to be a chance for Adam Brennan to make that pass up into the neutral zone. Over to the Canisius bench front, and then shot into the offensive zone by Alexin, who then goes for a change. Buff State now looking to break it out up the far side. Kept in by Clayton Weir. He has two men on him. Buff State now finding possession. Hyde flips it high through the air all the way back down into the Buff State end. And it's going to go far enough for icing. And that will be the call as the Canisius player won the race to the hash marks. Face-off will come back down into Buffalo State territory with 10:22 remaining in the second.
Just like I thought at the beginning of this period with the long change, the track meet style of hockey is starting to show up, especially with these two teams having short benches with this long change. Ice is opening up for just a little bit, and the Bengals are just seeing those lanes and firing through those gaps and looking to create speed chances in addition to the possession they've had.
Canisius winning the draw and getting a shot in towards the goal. It changed directions late, but didn't quite get all the way to A.J. White as there was some traffic in front of the net. Now the Bengals on the transition. Just in over the blue line, Gallivan couldn't quite keep that right skate in the neutral zone, and offsides is called on the play. Faceoff will come up just outside of the Canisius blue line with 10:08 remaining in period number 2.
And we're seeing it again. Bengals hitting the blue line with speed and looking to just get into the zone with a head of steam with trailers and guys crashing the net. Now they got the speed game going when they had the possession game, and they're just looking to just create chances every which way they can.
Elliot Hunt looking to create a chance. He's got it in front of the net. Oh, a great rebound opportunity as Joe Tempio had it on the table right at the doorstep, and the sprawling Sweeney got the stick on it to deny Joe Tempio. Now Joe with a chance from the inside of the net. Quick 2 shots in on goal. Elliot Hunt was there for the rebound opportunity. Sweeney, though, again, standing on his head here in second period play, just as he did in first period play. Buff State now looking to counter quickly. Dumped in by Joe Tempio, and he heads off for a change. Buff State keeping the play moving, but losing possession. And it's going to be Stish trying to clear it out of the zone. Gets it past the defenseman Hussey. Hussey then finds possession of it again and sends it back into the offensive zone as the Canisius player is slow getting to the bench. Buff State with some numbers here. Schultz down low, shot in on goal. Good save made by the arm of the goaltender Sweeney as Zach Schultz had the puck at the bottom of the circle. A golden opportunity to get a shot past the goaltender. Sweeney was up to the challenge on that one, though, making the save with 9:17 now to go in second period play.
Yep, and every goaltender hates that when the puck gets right in that spot between their arm and their torso a little bit. Sweeney didn't quite know where it was. He started leaning a little bit in case that thing snuck through, and if it did, even if it didn't find its way in, there were two Bengals going to the doorstep for a rebound right there.
Bengals winning the draw in the offensive zone as Kelly slides it along to Gallivan. Comes back to the point. Buff State unable to hold it in. Gallivan has to fight one man off to find possession of it as he chases it down in the corner of his own zone now. Gallivan getting away from the Canisius player Alexin and bouncing it off the back of the net to avoid a second man.
Oh, that was nice.
Puck out in the neutral zone now, sent back in by the Griffs with 8:52 remaining in the second period. Buff State leading this one 3-0. All 3 goals coming here in second period play. Brennan now making some fancy moves in behind the net to get free of his forechecker. Buff State now carrying it out of the far side. Alex Gosen, though, gets the puck taken off of his stick by Clayton Weir.
I mean, they're playing a dangerous game doing that behind the net, but man, is it fun to watch when it works.
Ryan Kelly carrying it through the neutral zone. In across the Canisius blue line, loses control of it. Now has to fight a man off in the corner. Gets ridden into the boards, and now Canisius tries to break it out, but Spadarico's clearing attempt doesn't get past the defenseman. Buff State keeping it in. Ryan Kelly tries to feed a pass into the slot. That one hits a skate, but ends up in the neutral zone. And Adam Brennan finds it there as he looks to create a little bit of room and feeds a pass up to Sardina. Ryan Kelly with a man on him just inside the Buff State zone. Kelly gets it up to Gosen. Gosen quickly along to Sardina. And now a loose puck just inside the blue line. Gallivan trying to get to it there, but it comes out through center ice, where it's going to be Ryan Hahn hunting it down. Hahn at his own blue line, makes a long pass to the far blue line. He's got Newman there. Newman with a step, gets the shot in past the goaltender. What a beautiful setup by Ryan Hahn. Cole Newman taking advantage of that great setup with his second of the game. It's now a 4-0 Bengals lead.
Ryan Hahn just steps from his blue line and absolutely rifles a pass right through the entire Canisius forecheck. Hits Cole Newman in stride at the blue line. Newman walks in, head fake, fakes the dust off, and then puts it low glove side for his second of the game, 5th of the season. And the Bengals have opened up a 4-goal lead with 7:42 left in this period. That is why Ryan Hahn is the top defenseman and was a leader on this team. Just composed play by that. The Bengals are the team switching out the goalies right now, Aaron. We're looking to see Kowalski come in now after A.J. White played a little more than half of the game.
Anthony Kowalski making his first appearance in a Buffalo Bengals uniform. Good to see Kowalski getting an opportunity to play here tonight as the Kenmore East grad getting in the net for the Buff State Bengals. Bengals leading this one 4-0 here in second period play. Buffalo State goal scored by number 29, Cole Newman. Assist by number 22, Ryan Hahn. Newman from Hahn. Time of the Bengals goal, 12:18.
Bengals continuing to add pressure upon pressure. Even Jeff Hyde, you normally stay at home, a reliable defenseman, steps up in the offense and puts a pretty decent shot on the goaltender Sweeney that he was able to handle without a rebound. But still, good to see the defense also getting up in the play as well.
When you spend that much time in the offensive zone, everybody wants a piece of the offensive action. And the Bengals now looking to carry it through the neutral zone. He gets some more offensive pressure. Newman with a move around the defenseman, tries to beat the second guy, can't quite keep a hold of the puck though. As the Bengals do manage to keep it in though, as Hyde gets it in with the backhand.
Yeah, but number 17, Clayton Weir, has been bringing the physical play all game, and Cole Newman kind of used that to his advantage right there. Weir went to set up the hit, and Newman literally jump cuts him up. That's got to be too many.
Canisius in the middle of making a change there as they get their personnel onto the ice and off the ice. I don't know if it was done in a proper fashion. The referee was looking right at it, decided not to make the call. As the play keeps moving in front of our broadcast position, Jeff Hyde carrying it into the offensive zone. Player from each side trying to get possession of it, and it's going to be Elliott Hunt carrying it out. Cross-ice pass, now back in front, as unable to pick it up there was Zach Schultz, as a nice passing play was set up there down low, as it was Schultz and Newman, joined by Elliott Hunt down low.
Got him again.
Numbers again for the Bengals. It's a 3-on-1 developing. Comes across and a good defensive play by Wesolowski, getting the stick on that pass, forcing it to go just offline, but an opportunity in front as Elliott Hunt was set up on the doorstep. Good save made by Sweeney as he continues to be tested time and time again here in this contest. Seems like almost the entirety of the game has been played in the Canisius end.
Bengals are just taking full advantage of that long change right now. They're catching them just out of breath and going to the bench.
Canisius firing a shot from distance there, goes harmlessly wide. And Buff State kind of coming away with possession now through the neutral zone. Zach Schultz with some pace. Schultz across the blue line, chips it around the defenseman, looks to set up that backhand pass in front, just couldn't quite get it to somebody there. As Canisius tries to clear it, but they can't get it past Hunt, as Hunt moves it back down low to Schultz. Schultz along the goal line, tries to get it in front to Joe Lotempio. Lotempio gets hauled down on the play, no call there in front of the net, as the Canisius player had the stick in the midsection of Lotempio. Ryan Kelly, though, finding that puck and carrying it out of his zone, tries to feed a pass through the middle of the ice, ends up all the way in on the Canisius goaltender.
Oh, boy.
And he tries to play it out of the zone, almost was dangerously there as Lotempio was right on the spot at the blue line. Sardina making a move to get himself free, tries to feed a backhand shot in on goal, save made by Sweeney. Might have been going wide, but he got the pad on that one. Kelly tries to get a shot in. That one's blocked, and now Spadarico with an opportunity. Spadarico with a little bit of room, but a solid defensive play, as coming back hard on that one was Adam Brennan. Got the stick in there late to deflect that shot before Spadarico could get it on the goal. Buff State with possession again, now in the offensive zone, Galvin. Galvin carries it in towards the net, loses control of it, and then feeds it through the goaltender on the backhand. Buff State has their 5th goal of the night. It's a 5-0 lead for the Buff State Bengals, as it looks like it's going to be Ben Galvin getting credit for that one.
Ben Galvin's last 3 goals have all been little sneaky sliding pucks through the goaltender's legs. I mean, that starts by a great play by Adam Brennan right there. Just honestly, just pedal to the metal from center ice to break up what should have been a breakaway for the Griffins. Skates the puck out, almost loses it, kicks it up to Sardina, who then gets it to Galvin, who just works through the entire Canisius defense, and then slides it through the wide open 5-hole of the goaltender Sweeney.
Bengals pouring it on here in this second period. It was 0-0 after 20 minutes of play, but 5 Buff State goals here in this period have blown the game wide open. Bengals leading this one 5-0. The most recent goal actually going to number 88, Adam Brennan, getting credit on that one. Puck here just inside the Buff State, or the Canisius blue line. As coming out with is going to be Sardina. Sardina in front of the net. Hard shot taken by Gosen. That one goes up and over top of the cage, but Buff State keeping the pressure on in the offensive zone.
They have worn this Canisius Golden Griffins team down. They're exhausted right now. Just the constant pressure on them, Aaron, and they're going to keep going, too.
Fifth Buffalo State goal, scored by number 88, Adam Brennan. Assistant number 8, Ben Gallivan. Brennan from Gallivan, time of the Bengals goal, 15:40. Bengals looking to add to it with another opportunity right in front of the net. Unable to get that one past the goaltender was Gallivan on the play. Canisius gets it all the way down the ice on that one. It's going to be in on the net. Kowalski making his first stop of the game, getting his first touch on it of the game, as Canisius would have had icing, but that puck kind of got on end and then ended up in on Kowalski, so we'll have a face-off in the Buff State defensive zone with 3:07 to go in the period.
Yeah, Kowalski, he's been in the game for about 4 minutes and hasn't even seen a shot attempted on him. Closest thing was a breakaway, so yeah, I think he was eager to pounce on that puck to get a little experience here, but he's got a face-off coming up to his left now.
Canisius winning that draw. Weird clapping for that puck on the far point. Lets that shot go, but it's deflected on the way in and ends up going off the glass behind the net. And now Buff State breaking out with Cole Newman. Newman gets it just into the offensive zone, but Stish has an opportunity to break it out up the far side. His pass doesn't connect, and McFadden keeps it in. Back to the point, fed in front of the net. Hager's redirection shot goes just wide, but it's Cole Newman picking it up and now looking to slowly set something up at the blue line. Cross-ice pass, Ryan Kelly with it along the goal line. 2 minutes and 30 seconds now remaining in the second period as Kelly avoids one man on him, stops and repositions himself, then feeds it back to the point. Newman letting a shot go. That one hits something on the way in, then goes just wide, but Hager picks it up, tries to feed it back to the point, but getting in the way of that pass on the play was Gabriel Schlee.
Ryan Kelly, very, very wise to Clayton Weir's act right there as he's trying to just body up the defenseman. Kelly just, here we go.
Now another breakaway pass. Zach Schultz in behind the defense. Schultz in alone, but a good poke check by the goaltender as Sweeney got the stick out there before Schultz can make the move around him. Spadarico now countering quickly. That's a hard shot that goes just over top of the crossbar. As Spadarico is looking to get that chance, letting that hard shot go, but it went just high. Brennan now looking to counter. Cleared out of danger briefly, but back to the point, kept in by the Bengals. Countering for Canisius is going to be Thurner. Thurner's pass too far for Spadarico. It goes all the way back into the Buff State territory. Icing waved off as Spadarico was the first one to the hash marks. Puck in behind the net with 1:30 to go in the second period. Buff State trying that long pass yet again. Elliott Hunt gets a piece of it to keep icing from happening on the play, but the goaltender Sweeney's the first one to it. Buff State finding possession of it now. Elliott Hunt behind the net. Feeds that pass in front. Bouncing puck in the slot. Canisius comes out with it. And Portman carries it through neutral ice. Portman across the blue line. Lets that shot go. Kowalski with the shoulder save as that one was kind of up in an uncomfortable area to make that first real save of the night. But he did a good job with that and held on for a whistle. 1:05 now in the second period.
Hey, you're going to make your first save of the season in your career. That's a good one to make. Puck up high. Kowalski traps it up high so it doesn't drop because there were Golden Griffins heading to the net. If that puck hits the ground, Kowalski's on top of the blue page challenging the shot, so there's an open net there.
Bengals again looking for that long pass to the neutral zone. Elliott Hunt quickly gets to it, tries to take a shot from a tough angle. Save made by Sweeney, and we will redo the face-offs from the offensive zone now for the Bengals. Support for our coverage is brought to you by Bob & John's La Hacienda, a Buffalo pizza tradition since 1972, located on Hurdle Avenue in North Buffalo. Online ordering for pickup or delivery, bobandjohns.com. Sardina on for this draw, winning it back to Gallivan. Gallivan keeps it in the offensive zone. Alex Gosen on the far wall. He has two different Canisius players on him, but he gets control of the puck and gets it down to Sardina. Sardina in behind the net looking for a pass. Comes out the near side, still looking for something there as he's got a man on him. Backhand pass to Gallivan as Gallivan tries to go around the defenseman, but Stish takes him off of that puck, and Canisius clears it through center ice and softly back into Buff State territory. 22 seconds now remaining here in the second period as Sardina carries it into the offensive zone, cutting in towards the net. Backhand shot in on goal. Sweeney with another save here in this contest, and another backhander as Sardina got up from the ice there quickly and got that shot in on goal. Just the last 6 seconds now ticking away here in the period. Buff State will have to be quick if they're going to get another shot. And Ryan Haas decides just to slow things down. circle back into his own zone and pick the puck up for the official. And that's how period number 2 will end, with Buff State leading by a commanding 5-0 margin.
Buffalo State played the period the exact same way they played the first. Only difference is the puck went into the net 5 times this time. They got the gritty goals, they got the nice shots. Just seemed like, after the change of the period, you don't just want to assume it's going to go the same way as it did in the previous period, but in this case it did. And Buffalo State was also able to use the long change and catching a very tired Canisius team changing slowly to their advantage, and they were rewarded with 5 goals. So great period by the Bengals. Like we said after the first, don't change a thing. If you're Buffalo State right now, keep doing what you're doing.
Support for Buffalo State Club Hockey comes from Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. To buy, sell, or lease any office, industrial, retail, or investment property, trust the unparalleled knowledge and experience of Militello Realty. 856-2872, or you can find them online at militello.com. Support for our coverage also comes from Ivy Lee Pharmacy, a locally owned neighborhood pharmacy for over 60 years. If you're traveling to Canada, PCR COVID tests available at Ivy Lee with a quick 1-hour turnaround. Ivy Lee is at 2446 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore, or online ivyleepharmacy.com. Supporters also include the law offices of Nicholas J. Narchis, an advocate for Western New Yorkers with blue-collar roots, providing efficient and cost-effective representation from offices in Lockport and Geneseo, online narchislaw.com. Support also comes from Bob and John's La Hacienda, a Buffalo pizza tradition since 1972. Located on Hurdle Avenue in North Buffalo, online ordering for pickup or delivery, bobandjohns.com. Supporters also include Envious Gameware, the official uniform supplier of Buffalo State Club Hockey, making high-end custom team uniforms, bags, and apparel, online enviousgameware.com. And supporters also include Town Auto. We love our town. We're through 2 periods of play, through 40 minutes. It is a Buff State 5-0 lead, a commanding lead here in this contest. We're going to take a short break and rejoin you with third period action. Please stay tuned. To the Buffalo State Ice Arena as we are getting ready for third period play between the Buffalo State College Bengals and the Canisius College Golden Griffins. After 2 periods of play, our score is 5-0 Buff State. Hello, my name is Aaron Elkern, joined by color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Evan Kumpf, getting ready for third period play. But first, we're going to take a look at the league scoreboard presented by Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. Off the top, we have the UNYCHL Empire Showcase going on in Binghamton this weekend. Last night, it was Farmingdale beating Cortland 5-0. UB over Quinnipiac by Quinnipiac beating UB by a 10-2 score. In the nightcap, it was Binghamton beating Fairfield 6-5. Today, Farmingdale beating UB 4-2. Meanwhile, it was Binghamton picking up a 6-3 win over Quinnipiac. And in action going on right now, it is Fairfield leading 1-0 over Cortland through 1 period of play. Elsewhere, Mass Maritime last night defeated Union College by a 5-2 count. It was Niagara County Community College playing their first game of the year, coming out with a 9-4 win over St. John Fisher. And in some other Saturday games, it's Lemoyne dropping a 5-4 decision to Brockport in overtime, and Fredonia beating Penn State Barron College 12-1. Our scoreboard presented by Militello Realty. To buy, sell, or lease any office, industrial, retail, or investment property, trust the unparalleled knowledge and experience of Militello Realty. Our score here is 5-0 Buff State, and Sean, it was basically a matter of when, not if, the Bengals were going to break through. They had a lot of shots on goal in the first period, couldn't solve the goaltender Sweeney, but they figured it out in the second.
Absolutely, and after the first period going in 0-0, you never want to assume that you're just going to get goals. But when you play the way the Bengals did, and they didn't change a thing, and they even took advantage of the long change, the chances kept coming, and then once you get one, the rest just seemed to fall into place, and that is exactly what happened right there. I mean, no fault to the goaltender, Jimmy Sweeney's. He's done everything he can possibly do to keep Canisius in this game. The Bengals are just shooting from everywhere, getting golden opportunities from the slot, from the crease, from the back door. And I just expect the Bengals to continue to do what they're doing. This is not the last time these teams are going to play this year. Bengals are looking to send a message right here, right now, and they're right on the attack off the faceoff.
5 Bengal goals in that second period, coming off the sticks of Joe Lotempio. Cole Newman had 2, Mark Hager had 1, and Adam Brennan had the last goal of the period, giving the Bengals the 5-0 lead. They've got the puck in the offensive zone now, and unable to connect on a pass was Joe Lotempio as he was looking to go cross-ice to Ryan Kelly. Kelly goes with a cross-ice backhand pass and finds Joe Lotempio at the blue line, but Canisius coming away with it. It's Spadarico getting it to the Buff State blue line. Shot taken by Alexin goes harmlessly wide, and now Ryan Kelly with a step on his man. Stops and changes directions. Now tries to start the breakout again with a man on him. Quickly gets it up to Hunt, but Hunt's pass for Joe Lotempio is too much for him to handle and ends up back in the Canisius zone and will go far enough for icing. So we're going to have a face-off coming up in the Bengals zone to the left of the goaltender, Anthony Kowalski. Just about 50 seconds gone so far in third period action.
Yeah, no surprise to see Kowalski get the third period to finish out his inaugural appearance with the Bengals after AJ White played. Wasn't tested a lot. Did have to make one or two pretty big saves though, especially one at the end of the first to keep the game tied at 0. And now the young goaltender from Ken Maurice will get an entire period to show what he has.
That's a good point there, Sean. AJ White did make one very, very good stop on a breakaway that was in the last minute of the first period. The Bengals had controlled play for the entirety of the first and then almost gave up the only goal of the period there at the end. Could have been something that Canisius maybe would have gotten some momentum from, but A.J. White made sure that didn't happen, shut the door on that breakaway opportunity. Bengals looking to create some chances of their own in front of the net. Joe Tempio right there on the doorstep with a good chance. Goaltender Sweeney making the stop, keeping this one a 5-0 game. And the puck ends up going over the glass and into the seats, and we'll have a face-off in the Bengals offensive zone with 18:36 to go in the period.
Canisius is sending honestly, once the Bengals get the puck at the point, both of their defensemen, and it looks like their center, are just collapsing to the crease, just trying to prevent any pucks just falling loose in the slot right now, because that's what the Bengals have lived this entire game.
Ryan Miller gets taken down there, but fed a pass in front. Didn't quite connect with anyone there, but Sardina has it. Sardina getting it down low to Miller, a defenseman there without a stick. It hits that stick that was laying there on the ice. It was Joe Wesolowski's, and he manages to pick up that stick and rejoin the play. Ryan Hahn, though, with the puck at the near point. Down low to Sardina. Sardina lets a shot go, goes off the side of the net. Now a battle for possession in the far corner. Ryan Miller has it. Miller goes cross ice back to the midpoint. Ryan Hahn in on goal. That one looking for a redirection there as Gallivan was sliding into the front of the net. Ended up getting a pad on it, was the goaltender, and it went off to the corner, but Buff State's still keeping the pressure on. Shot taken from the point by Hahn. Goaltender Sweeney makes the save, then quick pass in front of the net. Gallivan looking to get it to Miller there. Bengals still maintaining possession down low in the Canisius zone. And Canisius getting a little bit of room now, has a chance to move it through the neutral zone, but they don't connect on a pass there, and they just give possession back to the Bengals.
Canisius seemed very content just getting the puck out of his own right there, almost like throwing a penalty kill.
Canisius slowing it down a little bit now, and that pass goes hard through the neutral zone. Spadarico getting a piece of it to negate any icing, and giving Canisius a chance to get 4 new players out there. The one player that is in the offensive zone had a chance from in behind the net, as it was Portman trying to take it hard to the front, but Kowalski covered up and held on for a face-off, and will be coming up to his left with 17:09 in the period.
I don't think Portman was ready for that puck, to be honest, Dick, right there. When Hussey lost his edge, Portman kind of just reacted like, oh, look what I found, but then by the time he gathered the puck, the defensive converged on him.
Canisius winning the draw, but Stish can't keep it in the zone. He's got to go back into his own end to chase it down and start the breakout again. Canisius now through the neutral zone, bringing in, it's going to be Maloney. Maloney lets a shot go that goes wide and off the glass. And now Brennan starts it out. Can't get it out past the point man, though. Now in front of the net, an opportunity to get a shot in on goal. But Canisius unable to come up with that loose puck as Maloney had it right down low on the doorstep. Just had a little bit of difficulty handling it and getting that shot in. Maloney now with a chance to get a shot here. He makes a move around the defender, but a good play there by Adam Brennan as Brennan moved over to back up his defensive partner and keep an offensive opportunity from being created there. McFadden into the offensive zone, gives it to Gosen. Gosen with a hard snapshot right in on Sweeney. Sweeney had to have that blocker up there quickly to make that stop. Sweeney now in behind his net, trying to set it up for his defenseman. It goes all the way around to Wesolowski. Now a loose puck into the circle. Carrying it out of the zone is going to be Matthew Tim. Tim can't get around Adam Brennan, and Brennan makes a move to avoid one Canisius player in the neutral zone, now finding some ice here. Adam Brennan to the blue line, can't connect with Gosen, now has to chase it back into his own zone with Wesolowski on him. Wesolowski and Brennan trying to find that loose puck. It's going to be Adam Brennan doing so. Got another man on him in the far corner. Brennan's got to be looking for a change here as he feeds a long pass through the neutral zone, goes off the skate of Cole Newman. That will negate any icing, and Brennan gets that change that he was looking for.
He earned that change, though. That was some pretty fancy stick work he had in the neutral zone right there. Kind of dangerous, but like I keep saying, he was working to it.
Late in his shift there, stick handling around some opponents. It was strong stick handling and skating ability late in his time on the ice. Good to see him make that final pass and then get off for a change. 2 players on Elliot Hunt in behind the net as Zach Schultz jumps in to help out. Schultz finding that loose puck and getting it back to the point to Ryan Hahn. Hahn with a man on him, avoids him though, and keeps it in the zone for a moment. But Canisius finding possession and sending it the length of the ice, and we're going to have an icing on the play. So with just under 15 minutes to go in the period, faceoff's going to come back down into the Canisius zone. Bengals still leading this one 5-0.
And Bengals, like we thought, just their foot is still on the gas and it's not showing any signs of changing. A little more conservative in the offensive end. There's a lot more passing. Not to say they weren't passing, but they're focused more on cycling than trying to feed the slot right now.
Might end up seeing more of the one-man in on the forecheck from the Bengals instead of the standard 2-man pressure that they like to use. But a chance being created there as the shot comes in from the point. Elliot Hunt trying to gather in the loose puck and get that second shot in on goal. as the Bengals keep the pressure on. Zach Schultz below the net. Feeds that pass out in front. Couldn't quite connect with Elliott Hunt as Hunt had a man on him. But the two of them trying to connect on something again. Comes back to the point. Good play there by Ryan Hahn to keep it just inside the blue line. Shot is blocked on the way to the net and still outside the Canisius zone.
And again, that's your captain right there. That's leadership to a T, just diving for pucks. He won the games well in hand.
5-0 game, and Joe Lotempio is laying out on the ice, showing leadership, as Sean said, making sure that everybody else on the team understands that the way that this team likes to play is hard from start to finish. Canisius now with the puck just inside the blue line. Shot taken there and goes just wide. And now through the neutral zone. It's going to be Buff State with control of it just inside the blue line. Ryan Miller makes a move to get around one man, lets a hard shot go. Sweeney made a good save there. Wasn't quite sure that he had control of it though. Had to get back into position before a second shot came in. Miller seemingly on a mission in the offensive zone, looking to get himself on the score sheet as Canisius slides it through the neutral zone back into Buff State territory. Icing waved off as Adam Brennan takes a hit in the far corner, as it looked like his man hit him from behind there as they were just off of the corner into the boards. And play has stopped as a couple of players from both sides are over there seeing if Adam Brennan is okay.
Yes, we can definitely tell that Maloney did not intend for that to happen. That is just an unfortunate circumstance. It is a risk you take when you play this game at the speed they play it. Maloney's not a huge fan of the call right there, but unfortunately, we all know when you see the back of the play, when you see the player's numbers on his back, you do not engage when you're in stride. It was an effort play by Maloney. I certainly don't want to kill him for it.
Yeah, and I don't think he put a lot into that check. It was kind of a function of where Brennan was in relation to the boards and where his positioning was in terms of his balance on his skates. Like you said, not really a play where any harm was intended, but it just ended up looking a lot worse in the end, and it's kind of an obvious call for the official who was right there.
Absolutely, and Aaron, you and I both played the game. We've been on both sides of games like this. It's good to see the refs calling that. Like you said, I think everybody knows there's no malice intended there. If there was, they would have been addressed by the Bengals. But in 5-0 games, when a player does go head first into the boards, you got to call it because you never know. I mean, it's an emotional game. Some teams might not be as, I don't know what the word to look at it.
Yeah, that could go the wrong way if you have the wrong combination of teams, players, some bad blood maybe there historically. It was good to see that the refs made sure nothing really developed on that, but it will be a 2-minute power play for the Bengals, as taking that penalty was Ryan Maloney. 2 minutes for checking from behind, and the Bengals look to set up their power play man advantage here in the offensive zone, but that pass comes out into center ice. Canisius penalty to number 19, Ryan Maloney. 2 minutes for checking from behind. Maloney, 2 minutes for checking from behind. Time of the penalty, 6:33. Sardina into the offensive zone, losing control of it as he goes spilling to the ice. Canisius then clearing it out into center ice. And Sardina's got to get quickly to his skates and clear the zone so Ryan Hahn can carry it in. Hahn into the offensive end, slows it down along the goal line, looking for a pass now.
He's just standing there.
As there's just very light pressure coming from Canisius here. As Buff State now setting up their power play, making some passes here in the offensive zone. But a shot block, and then it comes out to center ice where Gallivan has to go back for it. Gallivan across the blue line, lets a shot go. That one goes just wide as Gallivan was looking for that far corner. Ends up rimming around the glass and coming all the way back down into Buffalo State territory with 35 seconds to go in the Bengals' main advantage. Ryan Hahn through center into the offensive zone. Takes it in behind the net, now surveying things there. Cross point, finds Sardina. Sardina moving it along. He's got Elliott Hunt, then back into the slot for Sardina. Just couldn't quite gather that one in and get the shot in on goal. Canisius taking advantage of that opportunity, sending it back down into Buffalo State territory with just 10 seconds to go on the Bengals power play. Elliott Hunt with the puck now, carrying it into the offensive end. Hunt going wide on the defender, circling the net, tries a wraparound opportunity. Sweeney got the pad over there quickly to deny him that chance. The Canisius penalty expiring now as Hunt takes another shot, this one from distance, going just wide. Maloney rejoining the play after serving his penalty. Can't get it out of the zone though as Adam Brennan sends it down low. Alex Gosen finds it there in front of the Zamboni door. Gosen carrying it out of the corner. Feeding a pass back to the blue line. That one doesn't connect. Now a chance for Maloney with a little bit of speed through the neutral zone, but he's 1-on-3. Runs into Ryan Kelly, and both of them get tangled up in the circle. And that allows Portman to find a loose puck in the corner. Portman feeds it in front, trying to get it to Maloney there, but he had 2 men on him, unable to get a shot off. And now the Bengals trying to break it out, but it's going to be Alexin keeping it in. Alexin's shot from the top of the circle, easily handled by Kowalski. Kowalski hangs on for a whistle with 10:41 to play in regulation. Still 5-0 Buff State.
Really, really impressive man-on-man defense there by Ryan Kelly. Keeps his eyes on the puck carrier's chest, pokes the stick off him, but doesn't gain possession. Instead of turning his head and looking for the puck, he wipes his man completely out of the play, and then the Bengals, just their swarming defense, picks up the puck. And then Kowalski got tested again and made a shot. Oh my, look at this.
Sardina quickly off the draw with speed through the neutral zone, fires the shot in on goal. Did it get through the goaltender? I can't quite tell.
He kept it.
No, he kept it out. It's just there outside of the goal line. I couldn't quite tell if that snuck through the 5-hole on him. I wasn't sure if he was necessarily certain that he made that stop, but he did find it under the pad in the blue paint, keeping the Bengals from getting their 6th goal of the game.
And I've never been a goalie before, but that looks like it's like the most helpless thing ever when you're sliding backwards, not knowing where the puck is. Really, really good goaltending again by Sweeney, who despite the score, has been one of the best players in this game. And again, just really composed goaltending by him again.
Support for Buffalo State Club Hockey comes from Town Auto. For over 50 years, a proud member of the Western New York community, putting customers' needs first and helping them find the right car at the right price. The dealerships of Town Auto make buying a car easy, whether it's online, over the phone, or in person. We love our town. 10 minutes even to go in third period action as Ben Gallivan carries it through the neutral zone, getting around 2 men, going wide, trying to get that shot off, just kind of fanned on it a little bit, but he finds possession of that loose puck and tries to feed a pass back to the point, but there's nobody there as the Bengals defensemen are making a change.
Ethan Alexin is in obvious pain right now. The last 2 shifts, he's definitely favoring one of his legs, but his bench is short and he's being a trooper right now, toughing it out despite the very lopsided score right now.
Bengals in the offensive zone, stepping in from the point, keeping that moving is Gallivan. Gallivan now trying to feed a pass out in front. He had Joe Lotempio right in front of the crease. Couldn't quite get it past a defenseman there. And then Canisius clears it to the blue line, but not out. Gallivan in the far circle. Feeds it in front, goes right through the goal crease. And Elliot Hunt picks it up. Hunt now feeding it down to Joe Lotempio. Lotempio comes back to the point as the Bengals work that high-low game. Lotempio now in behind the net, gets it to Hunt. Hunt looking for a pass as Gallivan's going slowly to the bench for a change. Ryan Hahn taking a shot from the far point. That one is handled by the stick of the goaltender Sweeney. He deflects it up and out of play into the protective netting, and we're going to have a face-off coming up with 8:55 to go in regulation.
Just like there's been the theme the entire game, Aaron, the Bengals are pretty much spending minutes at a time inside the Canisius end. They're just grinding these defensemen and forwards down. Just possession, winning the battles. Canisius aren't able to get the puck out, and the Bengals are probably looking to spend 45 total minutes into their offensive zone.
Shot taken there from the outside of the circle by Elliot Hunt. He got a lot on it, and it went just under the pad of the goaltender. He still managed to make the save, but it looked a little bit more difficult than I was expecting it to be. Shot coming from just off the boards.
Yeah, it looked like the goaltender Sweeney was almost kind of checking over his back shoulder for a backdoor pass, and Hunt just hit him with a surprise wrist shot. And before he could get too far off the post, he was able to clamp it down so it didn't end up getting behind him or coming out in front of the net.
Bengals winning yet another draw in the offensive zone there. Came all the way back to the point to Ryan Hahn, but he couldn't get a shot through traffic. Now they try to create something in transition. Puck just inside the blue line. Elliot Hunt comes away with it. Drops a pass to Schultz. Schultz had 2 men on him, though. Maybe Hunt was better off keeping a hold of that one. Puck now in the near corner. Schultz tracking it down there.
Elliot Hunt and Zach Schultz are developing some pretty chemistry right now, especially down tight. We saw the one goal last game when Hunt spun almost like Brian Campbell and dropped it on the doorstep, and Schultz buried it. Looking at something like that again, the play was there. It was actually a really strong defensive play before Schultz could get his full blade on that puck.
This line of Lotempio, Hunt, and Schultz definitely solid in the last game as they're looking to continue at that chemistry that Sean was talking about.
And Joe Lotempio and Elliot Hunt have had that chemistry from playing together for years, and Schultz is fitting on that line nicely right now.
Shot taken there by Elliot Hunt as he came off the boards and tried to let that snapshot go. It hit a body on the way in, though. Didn't get it on goal. Portman for Canisius now. He's got 2 different Buff State players on him, but he manages to feed that pass in front. Ethan Alexin there got the shot in on goal, but Kowalski up to that challenge, making a save with 7:50 to go in the third period. Buff State leading this one still by a 5-0 count.
Ethan Alexin is favoring that right leg right now, and I want to think he would probably get more on that shot if he wasn't hurting. I mean, you got to tip your cap to the kid. I mean, you can tell from up here, and I can't even see his face how uncomfortable he is, and he's out there playing in a game that's incredibly lopsided.
Just out there gutting it out and having to go out there every other shift because they're basically going two lines here with one extra forward. So unless he wants to cede plenty of ice time to other people, he's going to have to hop out there and take his lumps.
He's doing it.
He's doing so exactly. McFadden in the offensive zone for Buff State. Feeds it along to Gosen, as now we got some activity in front of the net. The Canisius bench erupting there as they were looking for a call on Newman. Couldn't quite tell what was going on in front of the net. Newman engaged with one of the Canisius defensemen.
And to figure there was going to be some chippiness coming at least a little bit with a game like this. So far nothing crazy's happened, just a few shoves here and there. But interesting to watch how this game ends.
Ryan Kelly with plenty of room after he makes a move to evade one man. Kelly now through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Kelly circling the Canisius net, now looking for a pass as he stops on the near wall. Feeds it down low to Gosen. Gosen now behind the net as he's looking for a pass. He's got a lane, goes cross ice to Kelly. Kelly picking it up as it bounces off the boards. Buff State now just kind of setting up in the offensive zone here as Kelly letting that shot go. And now he's kind of tied up with a player there, having a quick conversation with his man right on the face-off dot. Nothing coming of that, though, and there's going to be a face-off in the offensive zone for Buff State again with 6:36 to go in third period play.
That was some pretty impressive skating there by Ryan Kelly. He put two Canisius Golden Griffins on the deck while carrying the puck and not touching them, which could be a product of being tired or what, but still, when you see a guy skate a guy to the ground, it's impressive.
Wow. Shot taken there from the point by Ryan Hahn. Looked like it hit a skate on the way through in the mid-slot and then went just wide. Buff State keeping the pressure on. Gallivan getting that pass from Sardina. Nice setup play from behind the net, right on the tape for Gallivan. Save made by Sweeney, though. And he hangs on for another whistle with 6:20 left in regulation.
Speaking of chemistry between two players, Sardina and Gallivan have absolutely outstanding chemistry as well. Passing down low. I mean, they're missing their big line mate, too, but, Ryan Miller's done an outstanding job filling that role. Big energy player, playing physically and making a lot of plays down low. He's determined to get on the score sheet tonight.
Kowalski coming out of the net, acting as the third defenseman to keep play moving and start the breakout. Gets it up to Sardina. Maybe looking for an assist there from Kowalski as Sardina let that shot go, but Sweeney made the stop and held on for another faceoff in his defensive zone. He'll be coming up to his left with 6:03 remaining in the third. Quick conversation in front of the net from Ryan Miller and Sweeney.
I don't think Sweeney liked that Miller was in the crease, and Miller just kept standing there, not moving.
I don't know how much energy Sweeney wants to waste arguing with Ryan Miller. I would be tired just from all these shots that he's faced here in this contest so far.
And if you don't want to waste energy, avoid Ryan Miller at all costs, because that's all that dude knows how to do is just play with energy and intensity.
5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in regulation as Buff State looks to set that long pass through the neutral zone. They have the puck inside the offensive zone now. Ryan Miller down low, feeds in front, great pass, and a backhand finish from Ben Gallivan. Buff State Bengals have their 6th goal in this one on a beautiful setup by Ryan Miller.
There's the energy I was just mentioning a second ago. Ryan Miller still working with 5 minutes left in a blowout. Picks up the puck down low. Miller has been looking to go to the net early, and I think Canisius was waiting for him to try and pop out front. Instead, he throws a backhand pass right to the front to Ben Gallivan, who just taps it in. Goaltender, by the time he got into his butterfly, the puck was behind him. That puck was off Gallivan, stick so quickly.
Very nice setup there as Ben Gallivan getting the goal, giving his Buff State Bengals a 6-0 lead here in this contest. And it seems that the Bengals are satisfied. And Zach Schultz picks a top corner on the near side with a great snapshot. It's now 7-0.
That was just nuts right there. Right off the face-off, the Bengals again just not stopping. They pick up a 3-on-2. They hit Schultz coming in on the glove side, bar down and in, and the goaltender Sweeney, who's literally laid everything out on the line for this team, as soon as that puck landed behind him, he just kind of fell onto his backside and just sat there because he was in perfect position right there, but you can't stop a perfect shot, and Schultz just barred that thing, freaking playing jingle bells right there.
2 goals in 9 seconds from the Buffalo State Bengals. It's now a 7-0 game. Bengals looking for more in front of the net with just right at 5 minutes to play here in this contest. And they've played in the offensive zone all night, Sean. They are not satisfied with just 7. It seems that they want to keep on adding to it.
I don't know if they have a deal with Coach Turner or Shefchak that if they pot 10, they don't have to skate. Because they're up 7-0 with 5 minutes left on a team that is just out of gas. And they are just not about to stop right now.
6th Buffalo State goal scored by number 8, Ben Gallivan. Assist to number 16, Ryan Miller. And number 53, Brett Sardina. Gallivan from Miller and Sardina. Time of the goal, 14:30. 7th Buffalo State goal scored by number 44, Zach Schultz. Assist to number 28, Joe Lotempio. And number 88, Adam Brennan. Schultz from Lotempio and Brennan. Time of the 7th Buff State goal, 14:39.
Look at those wheels by Brennan, the smooth skating, the roller hockey star, showing off the hands and the little side-to-side he's got in his little arsenal.
Now he's jumping up into the play here as Joe Lotempio carries it into the offensive zone. His shot goes through traffic but hit a body and went wide. Elliott Hunt finding control of that puck with 4 minutes and change remaining. Puck comes out to the point. Ryan Hahn keeping it into the offensive zone and behind the net where Joe Lotempio is. Lotempio spins and feeds a backhand pass behind the net. Cole Newman chasing that one down. Bengals just setting up the cycle play here now as Elliott Hunt's backhand pass doesn't get in front of the net. And now a shot's taken from the point, laying there as Cole Newman picks it up. Newman in the near corner, cycles it down low to Lotempio. Lotempio with a man on him, spins and feeds a pass back to the point. Jeff Hyde picks that one up on the far side and then feeds it back down low with 3:27 remaining here in third period play. Still a 7-0 Buff State lead. As a loose puck in the high slot, Cole Newman finding that one, carrying it back to the point, makes a move around one man, finds it again along the goal line. Newman feeds a pass in front, laying there in the crease. Joe Lotempio had a chance to get a stick on it, but his backhand shot is saved by the goaltender Sweeney. Sweeney dives on top of it to stop things with 3:12 now remaining in third period play.
And the Bengals just continue to apply pressure upon pressure upon pressure. They're cycling, they're moving the puck, they're laying out instead of maybe going 100 miles an hour at the blue line to keep it in. That's what they're doing versus just let it roll out. And they're still throwing the body too. Granted, he's been throwing his body all night, and he did not like getting hit right there, which...
Newman and Weir still having a conversation about that hit up against the far boards. Nothing really coming of that conversation as Ryan Hahn looks to break it out at the near side. Maloney getting in the way of that pass, and he feeds a pass in front, but it goes off the boards then out into the neutral zone where Wesolowski picks it up. Wesolowski over to Weir. His pass doesn't connect, and now it's going to be Ryan Hahn along the blue line. Hahn carries it in, lets the shot go. Good save there by Sweeney, just getting the arm and pad on that one as Ryan Hahn was looking for that 6-hole shot. Ryan Hahn letting another wrist shot go, but that one doesn't get through traffic.
We're getting chippy here too a little bit. Newman and Weir still going at each other. But Weir's been the weird start of the physical play today. But I don't think he's a fan of getting it back right now.
Cole Newman in front of the Canisius bench, avoids one check and carries it into the offensive zone, lets the shot go. That one goes high and wide.
Think he hopped ahead there?
Maybe. Hager quickly to it, but actually it's going to be a penalty called here as behind the play we have the call being made. And it's going to be Buff State getting the call. And some confusion about who it might be on.
Newman scurried off the ice really quick there to try and dodge the ref, but the ref wasn't having any of that. Newman and Weir were going at each other quite a bit. Newman probably just took one shot too many and got called for it. And so the Bengals will be on the kill for the entire rest of the game, minus a goal, and then 5 seconds.
2:05 remaining here in regulation. Canisius about to go onto the power play, as it was Cole Newman taking a penalty in behind the play, as that seemed to be developing for about 30 seconds between him and Weir, and eventually it was Cole Newman getting whistled for the penalty.
He got 2 or 3, the refs let 2 or 3 pretty obvious shots go before they finally got him, so it was a matter of time.
Hoping that it would just ease itself out on its own, but eventually they did have to make a call there, and they called Cole Newman for the penalty. 2 minutes for cross-checking on the play. as Buff State finds possession of a loose puck and clears it the length of the ice with minute 41 in Newman's penalty.
Look at Gallivan going all the way down there looking to get the puck.
Buffalo State penalty to number 29, Cole Newman. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Newman, 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty, 17:55. Ryan Kelly finding a loose puck on the penalty kill, getting it across to Adam Brennan. Brennan tries to clear the zone, but Canisius manages to keep the line, get it down into the corner where Brennan has 2 men on him. Brennan just pinning it to the boards to kill off some time in the penalty, finding that loose puck yet again, but he's got Portman on him. The two of them tangling behind the net. Good work there by Adam Brennan as 2 men ended up on him, but he's the one that came out of there with the puck. And then he chipped it past them to get a little bit of space for Ryan Kelly, and now Kelly gets it out of the zone and all the way into center ice. Brennan appears to be sucking wind, but he stays out there, playing some good defense, gets the poke check on him there. And Buff State then sending it all the way back down into the Canisius end with 44 seconds now remaining in regulation.
He's going to finish it,
Adam Brennan staying out there, not going for a change. Cameron Stish tries to feed a pass through the neutral zone. That one hits a stick and is deflected out to the far boards. Maloney with Schultz on him. Ryan Miller picks his pocket, now tries to take it the other way short-handed. Puck is dumped into the offensive zone by Canisius, but some time and space for Adam Brennan, and he just sends it through the neutral zone back to where Weir picks it up at the red line. Oh! Weir letting that shot go from just outside of the blue line. Looked like it hit a Buff State player's stick on the way in, changed directions dangerously, almost got past Kowalski, but luckily went just wide. As now just 2 seconds remaining here in this game, and it's going to be a Buffalo State shutout. Our final score from the Buffalo State Ice Arena, it's the Bengals winning this one 7-0. An impressive outing from the Buffalo State Bengals as they have their second divisional win in a row, their second game in a row where they put up 7 goals.
Absolutely, and it was an impressive game start to finish from the Bengals. They were on the forecheck, they were on the offensive, and they were on the possession start to finish right there. Even when they got up big, they just kept playing. You don't want to get into bad habits, you don't want to get lazy, you want to carry momentum into the next game. I mean, some people will say momentum doesn't matter, but you play for it anyway, and that's exactly what the Bengals did right there. They kept playing their game. They didn't get cocky. They didn't do any fancy moves, or not anything overly fancy that they wouldn't do initially, but impressive outing start to finish, complete game from everybody. Goaltending and defense wasn't tested a lot, but when they were, they passed the test with flying colors, so just everything, you gotta like everything you saw from the Bengals today. Even though you obviously wouldn't have much to complain about being up 7-0, still, it's the way they just dominated the game, start to finish, Aaron.
And they also made sure that they didn't get frustrated by the way the first period went. They had a ton of offensive zone time. They had dozens of shots in that period, plenty of scoring opportunities. Just couldn't figure out how to beat Sweeney in that first. But once they did in period number 2, the floodgates opened up, and they really blew this game out of the water in period number 2, getting just enough goals to put it out of reach and to make sure that Canisius had no opportunity to come back in this one. It was 5-0 after 2 periods of play. They had 2 more in period number 3, and that's how we got to our final of 7-0.
Yep, and Aaron, I mean, not that we have any rankings out yet or anything, but the way, the season Buff State had 2 years ago, what they were able to accomplish in short time last year, and the win they had to open, their first league win this year against Alfred, I would say if Canisius were to win this game, it would be a bit of an upset. And what I'm getting at is most upsets in hockey happen when the favorite team runs into a hot goaltender. And
that started to happen. Yeah, that started to happen here in this game. And it's the type of game where, and especially you think about that breakaway that Canisius had right at the end of period number 1, A.J. White making the stop on a clear breakaway from Ethan Alexin. If that goes differently, it's a completely different game to start the second period if Canisius comes in with a 1-0 lead after getting dominated in that opening frame.
Absolutely, and yes, the Bengals were the better team start to finish today, but the door was open a little bit for Canisius to maybe, put some pressure on the Bengals, maybe make a statement. A.J. White came up big for the Bengals, kept it 0-0. The Bengals got on the board early in the second, never looked back. Goaltender Kowalski was tested a couple times, made the saves, defenseman played great as well. And then the Bengals just dominated start to finish, didn't give Canisius any more chances than the one breakaway. And when you do that, and when you're as good as the Bengals are, this is the result you're going to get.
Bengals led by Cole Newman's 2 goals in this game. Also scoring in that second period of play was Joe Lotempio. Mark Hager on a pretty snapshot, and also Adam Brennan picking up a second period goal. In period number 3, it was Ben Gallivan and Zach Schultz finding the score sheet. And the Bengals come out of this one with a convincing 7-0 victory. They really held the pace of play and control of the puck for pretty much start to finish here in this contest, and they were rewarded as they should be with a 7-0 victory. Support for Buffalo State Club Hockey comes from Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. To buy, sell, or lease any office, industrial, retail, or investment property, trust the unparalleled knowledge and experience of Militello Realty. Find them online at militello.com. Our coverage also brought to you by Ivy Lee Pharmacy, a locally owned neighborhood pharmacy for over 60 years. If you're traveling to Canada, PCR COVID tests are available at Ivy Lee with a quick 1-hour turnaround. Ivy Lee is at 2446 Elmwood Avenue in Kenmore and online, ivyleepharmacy.com. This broadcast also brought to you by Town Auto. For over 50 years, a proud member of the Western New York community, putting customers' needs first and helping them find the right car at the right price. The dealerships of Town Auto make buying a car easy, whether online, over the phone, or in store. We love our town. Support for Buff State Club Hockey also comes from the law offices of Nicholas J. Narchis, an advocate for Western New Yorkers with blue-collar roots, providing efficient and cost-effective representation from offices in Lockport and Geneseo. Online, narchislaw.com. Supporters also include Bob and John's La Hacienda, a Buffalo pizza tradition since 1972. Located on Hurdle Avenue in North Buffalo, online ordering for pickup or delivery, bobandjohns.com. And supporters include Envious Gameware, the official uniform supplier of Buffalo State Club Hockey, making high-end custom team uniforms, bags, and apparel. Online, enviousgameware.com. Buffalo State winning this one by a convincing 7-0 margin. They will be off until next Friday, this coming Friday, the 15th of October, where they go on the road to face the University of Buffalo Bulls in a matchup with the defending UNY CHL champions. There will be 2 games next weekend, UB on Friday, then a home game on Saturday, as the Bengals welcome in Penn State Bearing College for a 7 o'clock start. And then 2 weeks from tonight, not to look too far ahead, but a road matchup with St. Bonaventure University, Saturday, October 23rd, 7 p.m. Those are a look at the next 3 games coming up on the Buff State schedule. We'll have live coverage here on our YouTube channel of each and every one of those games, and also hope to see you in person, whether or not it's on the road or here at the Buffalo State Ice Arena. Our final score tonight, yet again, is 7-0 Buff State, a convincing victory as they were in command of this game from start to finish. Didn't manage to get anything past the goaltender in period number 1, but it was 5 second period goals that blew this game wide open, and Buff State ended up coming out with a 7-0 win in the end. That's going to do it for our coverage here from the Buffalo State Ice Arena. For camera operator Evan Kumpf, color commentator Sean McHugh, I'm Aaron Elpern. Thanks for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Canisius.